And Mike, it's been wet and windy and damp outside, but nothing's really dampened the enthusiasm here, has it?
As soon as Oliver Luck picked up the microphone, the general manager of the Rhein Fire addressing the crowd in German, the rain seemed to hold off for just an instant, and it started up again when they heard him talk.
You think his surname's an accident? Right, I think we're just about ready for the player introductions. And there's been quite a few changes on the London Monarchs lineup, which we can tell you about. First up is Herman Smith. Big defensive end, he needs to establish a pass rush. Gabriel Oladipo steps into the lineup ahead of Roland Putzia. Billy Lofton there you see coming out. He'll be at defensive tackle. And Rick Newbill, number 94, what an outstanding season he's had so far. It was one game, but he looked good. Dave Hoffman, the middle linebacker. And Nick Smith, a young man from Notre Dame, he gets a start today. Injuries to other players. And here come the defensive secondary, Carlton Lance, the big talker. Kenny McIntyre, he gets a start ahead of Eric Stevens, very versatile player, and he'll have a job to do tonight. Edward Buck, the strong safety from Alcorn State, and rounding it out, Kevin Porter. And here come the rest of the London Monarchs. Somewhere in there is Coach Bobby Hammond as well. Coming out to the characteristically lukewarm reception. The German fans always very hostile to visiting teams. And this team here, no exception whatsoever. So that is the introduction of the London Monarchs.
Different types. Unitas was a quarterback that would get the snap, go back into the pocket, and he would wait and wait till the last possible instance to throw the football, and then take the hit after he threw the ball. Marino is a quarterback that gets back there, makes the quick decision, fires the ball, and it's an explosion when he lets that football go.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
You're 40 minutes late.
I'm sorry, Mr. Dickey.
Stanley Ipkiss was having one of those days.
I have no money. I have no car. All I got is this.
Until he had a little change of face. Now, the Zero is a hero.
Spoken!
Jim Carrey is the Mask.
Somebody stop me!
Playing on DirecTV.
Well, the fans really starting to build in anticipation here at the Rhein Stadion in Dusseldorf. I think we're a few moments away from the introduction of the Rhein Fire offense. And considering that these guys haven't played at home yet, Mike, already we're seeing loads of posters and banners up saying, welcome Jay Hillman, welcome Gino Toretta. The fans already taking to these fellas.
Dusseldorf, probably the center of American football in Germany. The reigning champions of the German American Football League are the Dusseldorf Panthers, who provided a number of the players on this team.
And we know we talked to a number of the players, a number of the American players on the Rhein Fire yesterday, and all of them are saying, we want to put on a good show for these fans. And I think here comes the Rhein Fire offense in just a couple of moments.
And you should hear the crowd take off when they introduce the home team.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in the Rheinstadion, the new German team in the World League 1995. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, please welcome the starting offense of Rhein Fire. Our wide receiver, number 83, from New Orleans Saints, Tyron Johnson.
Tyrone Johnson, one of 4 players from the New Orleans Saints in this offense.
From New Orleans Saints, number 68, Tom Roth.
Tom Roth, another one, the 4th. Doug Nussmeier's the backup quarterback.
Und aufgepasst, Freunde. Ein Heimspiel für ihn von den Düsseldorf Panthern mit der Nummer 67. Unser Left Guard, Gerald Gerald Olszewski.
He's the homeboy. Gerald Olszewski from the
From
Dusseldorf
the University
Panthers.
of Florida, number 56, the center of Rhein Fire, Tony Rowell.
Tony Rowell was recruited by Galen Hall out of high school to play at the University of Florida, and he plays every position on that line for
The
Galen.
right guard, number 71 from the University of Massachusetts, Bill Durkin.
A couple of years on the New England Patriots practice squad, Bill Durkin out of UMass.
From the New Orleans Saints, too, number 76, the right tackle, Alan Klein.
The Monarchs defensive ends have their work cut out for them tonight. 2 NFL tackles on that Rhein line.
Please welcome now number 85, our tight end from Eastern Washington, Tony Lansane.
Tony Lansane has been with 3 NFL teams in 3 years.
From Utah State, number 82, the wide receiver, Rod Moore.
6'1", about 200 pounds. Rod Moore, a good possession receiver for the Fire.
And now, the hero from our last game in Scotland. Here is number 13 from the Detroit Lions, our quarterback, Gino Torretta.
He hasn't
And
even
Gino,
played
we're
here,
proud
and
to
they
have
love
you
him
here.
already. Gino Torretta, he won the Heisman Trophy in '92. Most valuable player of the first week of the World League.
Right there.
Shaumbe Wright Fair out of Washington State University, a multi-talented running back.
Our last week's touchdown maker, number 44, our fullback from the Boston University, Jay Hillman.
On the 49ers practice squad, looks a lot like 49ers Tom Rathman, Jay Hillman.
So that is the lineup, and what an introduction for these Rhein Fire offensive players. You can be sure they're fired up. We're almost ready for the kickoff. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back in just a couple of moments.
Now that you've given her away, you'll always cherish the memories. You'll always remember the joy. And you'll never forget the bill.
$220 for parsley?
But hey, isn't that why you got Visa Gold in the first place? With all the purchase power to handle any occasion. Even the most precious. Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
While NFL action is still months away, the NFL has launched a new season on the internet. NFL Sidelines is an online connection to your favorite teams and players. Connect on the net with NFL fans around the world and chat live with the biggest names in football.
This movie is rated R.
Plus special coverage of the 1995 NFL Draft. The NFL moves into cyberspace with NFL Sidelines. Tackle the internet.
A teacher in search of the right student. A student in need of the right training. A challenge.
Put her away.
That can only be met.
Let me fight him.
By the next Karate Kid.
True strength comes from inside.
The next Karate Kid.
Yes!
Playing this month on DirecTV.
The River Rhine meanders 800 miles through the heart of Central Europe. The city of Dusseldorf lies on the banks of this famous river, and tonight we're in the Rhein Stadion. For the first time, the unique experience that is the World League of American Football has come to Dusseldorf as the Rhein Fire entertain the London Monarchs. The Fire looking to build on their win last week in Scotland. The London Monarchs looking to bounce back from their defeat in Frankfurt.
The Rhein Fire have won the toss. They will receive. Which goal would you like to defend?
And straight away we can say that the Rhein Fire have got the first break, Mike. They've won the toss. They're going to receive first of all.
And it's going to be interesting to see what happens on the surface here, because as we said before the game, it's been raining pretty steadily for the last 3 hours. It's got to affect the way the teams play.
It's raining now, and I think it's going to rain for most of the evening. The temperature, it's chilly, a little bit windy, and above all, it's wet. And there's a lot of sand in this pitch as well. I think it's going to be very heavy for the receivers. I think the rain could act as a leveler.
Both teams want to establish their running game. Bad conditions help the running game because the offensive line knows where they want to go.
There's Bobby Hammond. He says he's seen a big improvement in his team this week, and I must admit I went down to practice earlier in the week, Mike. They looked a lot sharper.
Well, every time you talk to anyone on the Monarchs, the words you hear are wake-up call. They got one last week, they're ready this week.
And on the other side, of course, the old campaigner Galen Hall took the Orlando Thunder to the World Bowl in 1992, won on the road in Scotland last week, and that's not to be sniffed at.
And it's amazing the kind of relaxed atmosphere around their camp. Galen Hall runs a very quiet ship, but everybody seems to know what they have to do.
Very understated. Both these fellas have been called players coaches, and I think in this league you really do need to have a good personal touch. A lot of fellas a long way from home.
You spend 10 weeks living with your teammates. You're seeing them all day long, every day. You're in a hotel in a strange country where most of you don't speak the language. It's an unusual experience for an American football player.
Well, Don Silvestri will get us underway. Tyrone Johnson, number 83, is one of the deep men. Deron Pointer, number 1, is the other guy. And I think we're ready for the World League in Dusseldorf. Silvestri gets us underway. And it's received by Deron Pointer at his own 12, and Pointer looking for running room, and he's got some running room. And it's Silvestri that pushes him out of bounds, but a bad start for the Monarchs as Pointer, who is explosive, gets the fire off to a superb start. Gino Torretta will lead the Rhein Fire offense in superb field position already. Close to midfield for the former Heisman Trophy winner. A great start given to him by Deron Pointer. They'll often use a single back set. They like 3 wide receivers. They like 4 wide receivers. They love to throw this team. They run just to keep the defense honest. First down and 10 from the 43 for the Rhein Fire. Torretta got 2 backs this time out of the I formation. He gives it to Sean Wright Fair, who looks for a bit of running room up the middle and picks up 3 or 4 yards. Let's take a look at the offensive line of the Rhein Fire. A couple of big bookends. Tom Roth and Alan Klein from the Saints. Gerald Olszewski, the German, comes in because of an injury to centre Mike Alexander. Tony Rowell takes over as centre, so they've revamped that offensive line a little bit. Second down and 6 for the Fire. Pointer and Johnson are the wide men again out of the I formation. 2 running backs. And a fake and dropping, and Torretta looking for his man. It's picked up straight away. Carlton Lance. And Lance is run out of bounds by Alan Klein. There is a flag. We had a big play for the London Monarchs there. Carlton Lance coming up with it, but a flag.
And you can see after one game, they're watching. They know the play action was coming.
But the Frankfurt players certainly seem to be suggesting it's against London. Referee Larry Nemmers, number 20, will inform us of the play. I think the key here is whether the infraction was after the interception. Here comes Larry Nemmers.
We have illegal contact against number 20 of the defensive team and a personal foul for a late hit out of bounds against the offensive team. We'll offset the penalties and replay the down. Second down.
So the Rhein Fire get a break.
Very tight. They call coverage very tight in the World League. You're not allowed to hit those receivers downfield.
But that surely must be playing on Gino Torretta's mind. Let's take a look at the backs and receivers that he's working with. Sean Wright Fair, the running back we've seen already. Jay Hillman's his blocker. Johnson and Moore get the starts out wide. Tony Lensane, a good blocker with safe hands as well. So we're replaying the down. Second down and 6 to go. And you just wonder how much Torretta's confidence is shaken. His first pass, it was intercepted. Obviously it was called back, but that's going to be going through his mind. Straight away he goes to pass again and completely overthrows his receiver there. Intended for Derek Owens, the possession man. Let's take a look at the London defensive lineup. This has been given a bit of a shake-up as Bobby Hammond looks for some pass rush. A.J. Jenkins comes in. Gabriel Oladipo comes in at the middle, replacing Roland Putsier. Herman Smith, they're looking for some output from him as well. Billy Lofton, the 4th man of that defensive line. They're going to have a busy night. They have to put pressure on Torretta. If you give Torretta time, he will beat you. Third down and 6. And 3, it's a spread formation, 4 wide receivers. Torretta dropping back, pressure coming from the outside, but he gets his man. Dave Hoffman made the tackle, and it's spotted very close to first down yardage. I think that was Sean Russell, the tight end, coming up with the catch. They may bring the chains out for this. No, it's a first down.
Nice
the linebacking crew. Rick Newell is the star. Dave Hoffman does a lot of work. Nick Smith comes in for injuries. A young player with a lot of potential. Great athlete. But it's 1st and 10 for the Rhein Fire. Again, working out of the I formation. That's 2 running backs standing in the line, and Wright Fair gets the call once again and gets some running room. Good blocking, and Wright Fair is close to first down yardage. Looked like Kenny McIntyre came up from corner to make the stop. And these defensive backs will be in for a busy night for the London Monarchs. Kenny McIntyre gets a start. Carlton Lance, who we've already seen, has made an interception. Kevin Porter, the free safety. Edward Buck. They have to produce tonight for the Monarchs.
You saw the kind of shifty move that Sean Bay Wright Fair has. Not the great explosive speed, but a little hesitation there got him through the line in a big gain.
It's another first down for the Rhein Fire, and Gino Torretta, he dodged a bullet with that interception. Motion Jay Hillman splits out wide right, and a flag comes down. Tom Roth, the left tackle, seemed to be wobbling. Number 68, let's hear the call.
False start prior to the snap. 68 offense. 5 yards, still first down.
So Galen Hall watches as his NFL allocation player from the New Orleans Saints, Tom Roth. We didn't see too much movement on the line from either side in the first week.
And you'll see on the replay now. Watch the right side of your screen.
Second
just
down,
a little miss snap.
The handoff. We're back in action, and Hillman straight away getting into action. Nick Smith, number 58, coming up and making the stop, and that's short of the original line of scrimmage. Will bring up a 2nd down and long for the Rhein Fire.
One thing you have to like about Hillman is his balance. He runs very low to the ground, and he keeps his feet well, gets him the extra yard when he starts to go down.
And those numbers don't mean a lot, because he is a key short yardage guy and a big blocker.
That's when he carries the balls, when they need the short.
2nd and 12 still with 2 running backs, but Torretta dropping back. Fires, he's got his man. It's Tyrone Johnson down the middle inside. I think Dave Hoffman was there in coverage. Kenny McIntyre was there as well, but it's another first down for the Fire, and Torretta is settling.
And you'll see Tyrone Johnson cut under the zone. Now, when Torretta drops back 5 steps, it usually means he's going to throw a longer pass or wait for the receivers to come open. That's just what he does. He waits for Tyrone Johnson to drift in between the zone defenders and completes the pass.
Another first down for the Fire on the Monarchs' 20-yard line. They're in the red zone. The handoff once again to Sean Bay Wright Fair, who picks up around 4 yards before he's gang tackled up the middle. Dave Hoffman in on that one. Those two met each other often in college days. Rick Newell, number 94, came up as well. Pick up a 4 for Wright Fair.
And you're right, Wright Fair played at Washington State. Hoffman at University of Washington. Middle linebacker and tailback. They've been head-on-head for a long time.
Talking to Sean Bay yesterday, he said that those two fellas have got a lot of respect for each other. 2nd down and 6. Again, 2 running backs for the Fire. Torretta looking to pass. Pressure coming from outside from Herman Smith. Tony Lensane with the catch close to first down yardage. Hoffman and Newbill on the stop. But this a very effective series, and Lensane is shaken up on the play, but this is an effective drive from the Rhein Fire, and let's hope Lensane's okay.
As Torretta moved to the right, he had Lensane open. He also had Sean Bay Wright Fair open. Now watch the way Lensane catches this ball. See how he cuts inside. Now he's going to go and completely turn and head out. And Torretta's looking for him. He brings the pass in, gets sandwiched on the tackle. Lost the ball after he went down. It wasn't a fumble. We saw Wright Fair on his outside. He was open as well.
A good athlete, Tony Lensane. Did baseball and track in his college days at Eastern Washington. A former running back who spent some time with the Vikings. So, timeout on the field. We're going to take a timeout as well. Join us in a couple of moments.
No question about it. There are times where you want to stand back and applaud when you see the great plays made by great players. And, you know, on your football team, you're going to applaud a little bit harder, but you still acknowledge and you recognize great plays made by players on the opponent's football team.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
People don't do the gauntlet anymore. We are going to risk death a number of times on this trip. You're going to scream your guts out. You'll love it.
From director of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, Meryl Streep, Kevin Bacon. The River Wild.
Playing this month on DirecTV.
Welcome back to Dusseldorf. No score between the Fire and the Monarchs, but the Fire on the move. Gino Torretta has completed 3 of 4 for 30 yards, but Tony Lensane limped off, favouring his right leg. He looked badly shaken up, Mike.
It's going to hurt them a bit because his backup is Sean Russell. Russell's a pretty good receiver, but he's not the blocker that Lensane is.
So 3rd down and short. Lensane was marked about a yard short, brings up 3rd and short. Wright Fair is in the backfield. Pointer is wide left, and Wright Fair gets the call and manages to plough his way up the middle. Hoffman in on the tackle. Herman Smith was in there as well, Nick Smith as well, but a comfortable 1st down for the Rhein Fire.
You have to like Wright Fair. He's not quite big enough for a fullback, he's not quite quick enough for a tailback, but he can do almost everything. He can do all those roles. He can catch passes coming out of the backfield. He's the perfect kind of back for a one-back set.
We still wait for an official spot. They're bringing the chains out, so it was closer than it looked, but it looks comfortable from here, and there they've made it. So a 1st down for the Fire. That'll bring up 1st and goal. And
you have to like the way Galen Hall when they've got the short yardage situation. This time Hillman's not in the lineup. They don't go to him, and they drive Wright Fair up the middle of the line, always keeping you off balance.
Sean Bay means strength of a lion in African. Picked up 71 yards last week, 98 yards total, 71 receiving yards. That was 27 on the ground, but remember, this is a passing league. But Wright Fair doing some damage on the ground tonight. 1st and goal. Torretta fakes the handoff to Wright Fair. He's got his man wide open. Ronald Williams goes in for a touchdown, untouched.
And Ronald Williams made that touchdown.
Welcome to Dusseldorf for the Rhein Fire.
Ronald Williams comes out and he blocks A.J. Jenkins just enough to hold it up, then moves into the flat where nobody is covering him. He's wide open. Torretta just spun outside A.J. Jenkins, and there's the touchdown.
The extra point attempt will be by Giulio Caravata, who didn't exactly overwhelm us with his kicking in the 1st game at Scotland in Murrayfield. Nussmeier, the backup quarterback, will hold, and the kick just about gets through. So the Rhein Fire are ahead by 7 here in the 1st quarter, and Ronald Williams made that one look very easy. Mike, take a look.
Now the Monarchs want penetration from the line, and A.J. Jenkins is coming in hard. You see the little push there by Williams, who's all alone in the flat. And there's the linebacker, moves inside with the fake. He's following Torretta. And you saw it as Newbill moved to the right, number 94. Williams went out to the left. He's all alone, an easy touchdown, and he's got his visor on. The bright sunlight's not bothering him at all.
Well, it's raining here in Dusseldorf, but the fans don't mind at all. Ronald Williams has put the Fire on top early here against the London Monarchs. But how different it could have been if Carlton Lance's interception on the very 2nd play from scrimmage had been allowed to stand, but it didn't. That's history. The Fire are on top. Once again, the Monarchs are having to come from behind, just as they did in Frankfurt.
And a lot of people were talking about Gino Torretta, saying he's not quick enough to be a really top-flight quarterback, but what the Fire do is they use his lack of quickness, and they make a plus out of it by moving him around in the pocket.
Eric Stevens and Stephen Hutchinson are back deep. And it's Stevens who's got it and looking to cut outside, runs into one of his own men and then gets hammered by Leroy Smith, and that was unfortunate for Stevens. Let's take a look at the offensive unit for the London Monarchs, and this young man impressed me immensely last week. Brad Johnson from the Minnesota Vikings. His numbers weren't spectacular. His leadership and his poise, well, they looked impressive. 1st down for the Monarchs at their own 32. Brad Johnson going with a pro set, 2 backs, 2 wide receivers out wide, fakes the handoff, buys some time, gets a lot of time and goes long straight away looking for Alan Allen. And Allen was certainly bumped by number 29 Vaughan Bryant and looked at the official, but nothing doing there for Alan Allen. These are the offensive linemen, Chris Luneberg, Craig Ritter, who really has impressed this week, Baldwin Schmidt and Mike Moody from the Seattle Seahawks. Craig Ritter, a young man who came in because of injuries. He's making that left guard position his own. He has impressed.
That line did a good job. That line did a good job last week, and that's one of the reasons why Victor Badiki is in the lineup, because they want to take advantage of the blocking that line gave them.
So Johnson goes long on the first play. He pitches back on the second play, and not much doing there at all, I'm afraid, for Victor Ebubadike. Leroy Smith came in and put the hit on him. Victor Ebubadike getting his first start for the London Monarchs, along with Al Wooten, who will be his blocking back. Allen and a half-fit Larry Wallace out wide. Michael Titley, the important man amongst receivers, 7 catches for 95 yards for the big tight end last week. And the Rhein Fire were talking about how they would have to deal with him. 3rd down and around 10 for the Monarchs. And flags come in once again.
Motion in the line. It looked like London's offensive line, Lunenburg, probably moving before the snap.
False start, 71 offense prior to the snap, 5 yards, still 3rd down.
As called by my colleague Mike Carlson, Chris Lunenburg, the left tackle. So tack another 15 yards onto the 3rd down.
And I like that Rhein knows that London doesn't have any deep threats apart from Allen, so they came out, they went to him on the first play. A good move by Bobby Hammond. Should have worked.
3rd and long, an obvious passing situation this for the London Monarchs, but only 4 defensive backs in, and they fake the handoff to Al Wooten. In fact, they don't. They give the ball to Wooten, but Wooten doesn't fool anybody, and he is stuffed by just about everybody. I think Leroy Smith was in there, number 52, a big first defensive series for Smith, a poor first offensive series for the Monarchs. 4th down and a bunch. Will bring out Sonny Fexico. Darren Pointer will be back deep for the Rhein Fire. We've already seen what he can do on returns. And Fexico didn't kick too well against the Frankfurt Galaxy last week, but looks good in practice. Low snap, handled well. Low kick once again and bounces. Takes a hop straight into Pointer's hands. Pointer picks up a couple of yards and goes out of bounds around the 40-yard line. So, with the score, the Rhein Fire leading the London Monarchs 7-0. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
While NFL action is still months away, the NFL has launched a new season on the internet. NFL Sidelines is an online connection to your favorite teams and players. Connect on the net with NFL fans around the world and chat live with the biggest names in football.
This movie is rated R.
Plus special coverage of the 1995 NFL Draft. The NFL moves into cyberspace with NFL Sidelines. Tackle the internet.
Catches a football, and then he has to get both feet down in bounds. It's an art peculiar to the National Football League. And
who was the best in it? Raymond Berry?
Oh, there's no question. You know, Raymond was such a gifted receiver that he spent endless hours practicing this routine of getting he called it the toe dance.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
Michael showed them to find what you desire requires a great effort. You look thirsty. Gatorade?
Thanks. I've come.
I know why you have come. You wish to know the meaning of life.
And?
Life is a sport. Drink it up.
That's what I figured.
All right, here's what we've got. We're being bombed.
I've come here to create a new country for you called chaos, and a new government called anarchy.
His name's Ryan Garrity. According to the report, the guy can build bombs out of biscuit.
Blown away. Now playing on DirecTV.
Welcome back. A big drive coming up for the London Monarchs defense. Bobby Hammond, their coach, has been saying all week they must generate some pass rush. They've got to put pressure on Torretta.
Definitely a lot of pressure on those defensive ends. And what London needs right now, after a game and half of a quarter, is someone to step up and make the big play. They haven't had the big play yet. Someone's got to rise to the occasion.
Well, Herman Smith had a little bit of impact in patches in the first game, number 78. They'll be looking for more from him. First down motion from Hillman, and the whistle goes. So let's wait to see what the call is from Larry Nemers.
False start prior to the snap on number 76 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Watch the Monarchs defensive end, 63, A.J. Jenkins. Watch him fake the move right there on the left of your screen. He draws the motion and gets the penalty. A nice play by A.J. Jenkins. Maybe things are turning around here for London.
And that was against Alan Klein, the other New Orleans Saints tackle. So 1st and 15 once again. Torretta sends Hillman in motion. Torretta drops, gets some pressure, and Herman Smith brings him down. We talked about Herman Smith having to come up with some big plays. He came up with one there.
And Herman Smith reading Torretta's drop. Now watch, when Torretta drops short, just the 3-step drop, he's looking for a quick release. He doesn't have it, so he comes up, and Smith moves off the blocker, sees Torretta moving and makes the tackle. A nice play by Herman Smith, and note too that the linebacker was up there to help him out.
So 2nd down and around 16. Torretta getting pressure again, but gets a completion off through the middle. But that's going to be well short of first down yardage for Sean Russell, the backup tight end, who's in for the injured Tony Lensane.
And a good job of holding on to the ball by Russell. Right over the middle where it's tight.
This guy's been around. Sean Russell was with the Packers in 1988, with the Raiders in 93, played in the World League with the Knights, the New York, New Jersey Knights in 91, Montreal in 92. Now he's with the Rhein Fire. 3rd and around 10. Torretta out of the shotgun. Again, pressure coming from the outside. They flush him out and almost picked off once again.
And Torretta's having trouble setting up. It may be the footing on here, but he's slower than normal, so they go to the shotgun, and then he uses the run to try to make room for himself. Now watch the receivers here. They get crossed, and that's why the pattern messes up. And by crossing, it gave them enough room to come up and make the block on that pass.
And Kenny McIntyre came up with that play. Giulio Caravata back deep for the return is McIntyre. Caravata, they're trying to send a couple of guys up the middle, but it's a high kick, but not much weight to it, and the Monarchs should get decent field position, but it takes a superb bounce for the Rhein Fire. It hops about another 12 yards, and it'll be down inside London's 30-yard line. So Giulio Caravata gets a break there. That was not one of his better punts.
Only about 32 yards for Caravata. He normally can do better than that, but kicking's been a real problem in the World League so far after 1 week.
Well, let's meet the Rhein Fire defensive lineup now. The front four had a lot of impact last week against the Scottish Claymores. Bussey and Sumalo, the outside men. Carl Dunbar, a real handful from the Arizona Cardinals, and Mac Travis, who blocks like a Mack truck. First down, again, good time. He's got his man out on the right-hand side, but he is gang tackle. Terry Crews stayed at home, and not much doing there for Tony Brooks. The linebacking crew for the Rhein Fire includes Terry Crews. He's their pass rush specialist, and all three of these guys know how to get amongst them. Leroy Smith's already had a big series in the first series. Jason Atkinson had a good game against Scotland, the middle guy.
Crews, a very versatile guy, because they can use him on the line at defensive end if they have to as well.
Pick up a 2 yards for Tony Brooks. Brings up 2nd down and 8. The Monarchs struggling to generate much at the moment. Victor Abubadike picks his way through for a couple more before Leroy Smith tripped him up. The DBs for the Rhein Fire, they too were impressive against Scotland, especially the corners. Vaughan Bryant and Greg Lane. Matt Gay, the strong safety. Mike Salmon comes in to the free safety position. And that brings up 3rd down and around 6 for the London Monarchs. A couple of short gains. Again, the standard pro set. 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs for Johnson, and Johnson goes wide and gets Larry Wallace, who picks up first down yardage before he's pushed out of bounds by Greg Lane.
And you can see Larry Wallace was limping already. He's only about 50 or 60%, but they've got to have him in. He runs such good patterns. He's got such good hands. Even at less than 100%, Nick, he's a go-to guy.
Oh, definitely, definitely. So London's first down of the ball game. They're at their own 41-yard line. They stay with the pro set. Quick drop, and once again he goes for Wallace, and it comes off for him again. Greg Lane was there, got a little bit of help from Leroy Smith, but he really is their possession receiver, Larry Wallace. Another short yardage gain. And
possession is the word for it, because he did a great job of holding on to the ball and making the turn to start upfield while he was being hit.
Well, there's the numbers on Larry Wallace. I hate to say what if, but if this guy was fully fit, he'd be one of the impact players in this league, and he could still be even at 60%. I'm impressed with that guy. Second down and around 4 for the Monarchs. Again, for the third time in a row, they go out wide to the left, and it produces for them once again. Ronnie West on the pickup this time. Matt Gay came up from strong safety, but London seemed to have found a weakness. Johnson's numbers last week, he completed 28 of 49. He seemed to be throwing all night long.
That's what happens when you get well behind. You've got to put the ball in the air. It's not what London really wants to do, but Johnson doing a good job here of mixing it up.
And they've moved it to the 35-yard line of the Rhein Fire. Dropping back, passing. He's got a little bit of time once again. And that's going to be close to another first down. In fact, it is a first down. Gang tackle Mike Salmon came in, but another first down for the London Monarchs.
And Mike Titley's one of the keys to the offense here, because everybody saw him make a lot of catches last time. They have to establish him. They have to make Rhein pay attention to him. That'll open up other receivers on the outside.
Just over 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Bobby Hammond pacing the sidelines there. First down, London. Their first drive was awful. This is much better. The handoff up the middle. The big barreling fullback Al Wooten plows his way forwards. This looking a lot sharper from the Monarchs.
And Wooten had a nice hole to go through there. Good blocking by the Monarchs, left side of their offensive line.
And Al Wooten checking out of the lineup.
And Bobby Hammond knew that last week, even though they got beat, they moved the ball well. They simply made mistakes and never were able to finish those drives.
Ronnie West split wide left. Allen wide right. And he fakes, looks to Allen, looks to West as well, buys some time. But Johnson on the roll here. Gets a good block and may just get out of bounds. And smart heads-up thinking from Johnson, who didn't panic, didn't throw when his receivers were covered, and hung on to the ball.
He got good time to throw, and he got a good block coming back as well. Now watch. See the double team in the middle, holds off. Johnson's got good time to throw. They're trying for a pump and then go, but nobody's open, so he rolls. Now watch this effort coming back. Great takedown there. Johnson able to get back near the line of scrimmage.
Johnson doing the sensible thing there and pulls a timeout. Bobby Hammond was saying to us yesterday that the team that makes the fewest mistakes will win this league. Brad Johnson could so easily have made a mistake there.
And one of the problems with the clock in this league, remember they only have 35 seconds between plays, is that it forces teams to hurry up. It gets players tired. That makes them more likely to make mistakes.
There's Johnson talking to his offensive coordinator, Lionel Taylor, and Bobby Hammond in there as well. There's the number of Johnson. Tough to play behind Warren Moon in Minnesota, but he's come here to make a name for himself, and he's got a new contract with the Vikings. They like him, and I'm not surprised.
He's got a lot of potential. His problem in his career basically is he's wound up playing behind some very good quarterbacks. He played behind Casey Weldon at Florida State as well. We'll see Weldon later on with Barcelona in the World League.
Well, we have a malfunctioning clock in the stadium. That little space there you see, it's sort of just vaguely illuminated. Normally we would have the play clock in there, so the officials and everybody else are having to do a little bit of guesswork here. We have 2:13 left in the first quarter. And the clock is being kept by the officials on the field. So after the timeout, London facing a big play. This is the first really big play for the London offense. Third down and around 8 to go. They've got as far as the 21-yard line. They'd like to get a little more out of this drive. It's been a good one so far, and Johnson gets himself a lot of time once again, and it's dropped. He looked for his big guy, Mike Titley. Titley had a piece of it, but it is wet and it's raining here, and that one just slipped through the tight end's fingers.
And he had Titley. He leads him well here because it has to be a pretty well thrown pass. Right over the linebacker's head. Titley just can't hang on to it at full stretch. Has it in his hands and can't bring it in. Just an inch too far.
And I'll tell you something else on that play. They had Titley isolated with Leroy Smith, the linebacker. They're looking to isolate him one-on-one with the linebacker. So Don Silvestri will attempt a 39-yard field goal. And a flag comes down already.
It's going to be the clock, the 35-second clock.
Delay a game on the offensive team. 5 yards, still 4th down.
And that hurts London. At 39 yards in these conditions, it's not an easy kick for Don Silvestri. At 44, it's getting tough. This guy did kick a 50-yarder.
And the problem is they restart the clock as soon as the ball comes on the field, which means when you're switching teams, when you bring out that different team to take the field goal, you've got a real problem getting them in and getting them lined up in time.
So a 44-yarder now for Silvestri. Just a couple of minutes left first quarter. The kick is on its way now. Has it got the legs? Great kick from Don Silvestri. And that will give the Monarchs a little bit of confidence. It wasn't a touchdown. It could so easily have been, but at least they've come out of that drive with something. Good kick from Silvestri.
And they had a good drive, and as you say, they get out of it with points, which is exactly what they want to do. They've proven to themselves that they can move the ball and that they can score. And it's really good for Silvestri to be overcoming the extra 5 yards. He really puts a lot into this.
So no problems there for Don Silvestri, who had a frustrating first game. I don't think he had a field goal opportunity all night. And he enjoyed that one, and why not? Kicked a 50-yard field goal in scrimmage in Atlanta, so he's got the leg, and these are tough conditions to kick a 44-yarder.
And remember, that 50-yard field goal was the first 4-point field goal in football history.
Okay, let's go back to the studio to find out what's happening in the Amsterdam game. Here in Dusseldorf, 7-3 to the Fire, and a short kick from Silvestri is fielded at his own 15-yard line and brought down quickly. Tyrone Johnson didn't get too much there before LeVar Ball, the backup defensive end, came in and made the special teams hit. But
looked like LeVar Ball nearly took his head off, and I think that's probably what the flag is. A clothesline would be the word for that.
Well, LeVar Ball didn't make much of an impact in game one. Just one tackle he was credited with, and that's why he got moved out of the starting lineup, I suspect. He made a name for himself there, but was it illegal?
We have a personal foul for a late hit out of bounds on the kicking team, number 63. We'll march off 15 yards from the dead ball spot, 1st down.
And that's against A.J. Jenkins. So LeVar Ball's tackle was all right. There was a late hit.
Good for LeVar Ball. And remember, LeVar Ball has very little football experience. He was a basketball player in college. He came to the Jets as a tight end. Now they're trying him at defensive end. It's a lot for a guy to learn that quickly, but he's got a lot of great athletic ability.
Well, there we see Lionel Taylor with Mike Titley, and I think Lionel will be pleased that the Monarchs generated 4 first downs on that drive.
And that's pass catching 101 from a guy who knows a lot about pass catching, Lionel Taylor. Bring the ball in, both hands together, bring the ball in.
Well, Mike Titley can learn a lot from Lionel Taylor, one of the greats. Toretta dropping back, dumps it off, finds Sean Bay right fair, who beats one tackle and goes out of bounds, but not before he's picked up 5 or 6 yards. The more I see of Sean Bay right fair, the more I like him.
He's a glider. He's got such smooth moves, and the way he beats the first man here is just beautiful. This is set up for him. Toretta looks downfield, but he knows he's going on the swing to right fair. And a great stop and go. Makes Porter miss.
I think Kenny McIntyre got him out of bounds, but you don't see Kevin Porter missing as wide as that very often, the former Kansas City Chief. But Wright made him miss. 1:46 left first quarter. The Fire ahead 7-3, looking for more. Hillman goes in motion to the right. The handoff is to right fair up the middle. He doesn't get much at all before Nick Smith nails him.
And by sending Hillman in motion, what they're trying to do is open up that middle, get the linebackers out of the middle, and if they can get right fair through the defensive line, then he's up for yardage. Running right behind Gerald Olszewski, the German guard on the Rhein Fire.
Well, Gerald Olszewski's played at a pretty good standard before in the past. He was a starter with the Frankfurt Galaxy in 1992. I don't think this fella's going to be a weakness in that line at all. We talked to Wright Fair yesterday. He said he'd have no problems running behind Olszewski. Toretta dropping back. Gets a lot of time, and he's got a man. Coverage from Carlton Lance, but he was all over Derek Owens, and that one's going to go against Carlton.
And this is what Rhein and Toretta do so well, is get you on that long play, isolate you one-on-one, and Carlton Lance just almost ran over the receiver on that one.
Well, it's going to go against Carlton Lance, I'm sure.
Defensive pass interference. Defensive pass interference. Number 20, 15 yards from where the ball was snapped. Automatic first down for the Rhein
Well,
Fire.
they're ruling that that was not a flagrant one. Otherwise, it would have been from where the foul occurred.
And I think you'll see here, he's really, well, maybe it is a flagrant one.
That looks pretty
he's
flagrant
doing the
to
tackle.
me.
You're absolutely right. He's doing the tackle before the ball's even there. He knows he's beaten. They give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. Now, the rule is 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage on defensive pass interference. If it's flagrant, if the referee thinks you've done it deliberately, then it's the normal pass interference. You get the ball at the spot of the foul. So it's either spot of the foul or 15 yards from the line of scrimmage.
But the officials judging that Carlton Lance, not flagrant on that occasion, but enough damage done. The ball's been moved to the 33-yard line. And it's the spread formation with 36 seconds left, first quarter, for Gino Toretta. He's got 4 wide men, and he hands off to Ronald Williams up the middle, who picks up maybe 2 or 3 yards. Billy Lofton stayed at home at defensive tackle. They weren't fooled.
No, but what they do, what you've got to like about the Rhein offense is that they use this one play to set up the next. Everything's in a sequence, and if a play doesn't go for lots of yardage, that's okay, because what it's doing is setting up the next play in the sequence.
There's an awful lot of NFL experience on the Rhein Fire sidelines. Wes Chandler is their receivers coach, the former San Diego Charger. Don Strocks, their quarterback coach. He was with the Miami Dolphins for a number of years. That will do it for the first quarter. The score 7-3 in favor of the Rhein Fire, and the Fire are looking to go further ahead. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back in just a couple of moments.
You have to have the talent. You've got to have the size, the speed, the talent to compete. The thing that you really can't measure is the heart. And then the other thing that you have to be made aware of as soon as you can is his ability to learn, to execute the detail of his assignment in a pressure situation.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
There's a place near you where the mountain climbers never touch the ground, where the bodies are made of iron and the bikes of titanium alloy. It's Performance Bicycle Shop with over 6,000 square feet of high-tech cycling gear. But if you go, bring a stump-jumping spirit and your Visa card. Because at Performance, they take cycling to the extreme, but they don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
There's beauty in the surf and on the sand. When you join this party, you get an invitation to vote for the ultimate bikini.
Beautiful women from all over the planet. Now it's up to you. It's your job.
You make the call with... Also this month, you can see the movie that takes you behind the lines.
Oh my God.
And Behind the Behinds, a film that proves that wetter is better. Wave your cares goodbye with Bikini Squad, playing on DirecTV.
They're rocking and rolling here in Dusseldorf, and the Fire ahead 7-3 at the end of the first quarter. A busy session for Carlton Lance of the London Monarchs. He had an interception called back. He had a flag thrown on him. They call him Mr. I. The I stands for impact. Second down for the Fire, a flag down. This could be against London as well. Sean Russell gets the pickup. Kenny McIntyre came in and made the stop, but there was an awful lot of movement on that defensive line for the Monarchs.
Kevin Porter came up quickly from that strong safety spot on Russell. He's basically had him man-to-man. Carlton Lance has a really tough time because he's on Tyrone Johnson. Johnson not only is a Gold Gloves boxer, but he can run 100 meters in 10.7.
We saw the call there from Larry Nemers, offsides against...
The right defensive end was offside. It'll be a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, and it'll be still first down.
I think that one is against Herman Smith. He normally plays right defensive end. Gino Torretta, well, almost intercepted early on, has completed 6 of 8 with a touchdown. That one going to Ronald Williams, and has looked pretty impressive. And this is what Torretta will do. He'll establish the short game and then look to go long.
Clinical would be the word for it. He's operating like a surgeon.
Second down and short, the handoff to Jay Hillman, who will get close to first down yardage before he's wrapped up by A.J. Jenkins, who thinks he's got the ball, but sorry, A.J., that one's coming back.
Nice little spin on it. Now Hillman, we're thinking of him as a plunger, but he does a good job there of keeping his feet and seeing the hole to the left.
The touchdown maker from Scotland on the fullback.
And it is indeed a first down.
Tough day for the cheerleaders because the crowd's all moved back into the second deck to keep out of the range, so they've got to really make a lot of noise to be here.
And it's raining steadily here in Dusseldorf as well. First down at around the 23-yard line.
Timeout. Rhein fire. That's their first team timeout. It'll be a 40-second timeout.
The Fire want to talk this one over. Gino Torretta comes back to the think tank.
And again, that was another one of these clock running down. They take the timeout rather than try to rush the play. And that's unusual because they've done a good job of working the clock so far in the game. They've even been able to put men in motion. And one of the other things that this hurry-up offense does is it stops you from putting your people in motion because motion takes 3-4 seconds for them to go.
Meanwhile, on the other side, defensive coordinator Bob Seaman along there with Bobby Hammond. Bob Seaman, 18 years of NFL coaching experience, including time with the 49ers. Well, national players are going to make an impact in this league. We've seen it already in the first week. These are the guys that are going to be hoping to catch the eye for the Rhein Fire. Gerald Olszewski starts. We should see Andreas Motzkus, possibly even Andreas Schroeder, Klaus Biedermann. They love him on special teams.
4 guys from the Dusseldorf Panthers playing in front of their hometown fans.
Torretta on first down, looking to build on the Fire's early advantages here. Pressure coming from Jenkins, but he gets the pass off to Hillman, who gets to around the 11-yard line before he's stopped. That will be a first down. Dave Hoffman on the stop, but not until Hillman had picked up 11 yards. And Jay Hillman, we haven't talked much about him, but he is becoming one of the impact players on this Fire team.
Well, he does everything that you want a fullback to do. He blocks really well. He can get the short yardage, the one tough yard when you really need it. He's got good hands. He can catch the ball when he comes out of the backfield.
You're right, Mike, when you said he reminds you of Tom Rathman. I mean, he's even got all the dirt in the helmet there. He likes to get down and get stuck in the trenches just like Tom did.
It's a dirty job.
A lot of motion. Rod Moore goes out left. Pointer goes out right. They fake the handoff. And Torretta looking to roll. He's looking for Pointer. That bounced. Incomplete, but a lot of motion. And we haven't seen much motion in this game so far.
And Torretta, not a lot of speed, but you see how his moves. He froze the defensive end with that quick move and managed to get outside to give himself enough time to throw.
There we see Deron Pointer, an interesting guy, this fellow. We've already explained that he's related to the Pointer sisters. We're not quite sure how, but also he was with the Toronto Blue Jays baseball team at one point earlier in his career. A very versatile athlete.
2 seasons in the minor leagues in the Blue Jays system.
Second down and 10 from the 11. They can get a first down without punching it in. Again, movement on the line and flags come down.
Looked like Sean Wright fair in the slot.
But it looks as if Torretta is doing something with his count that is drawing London's defensive line.
Prior to the snap, number 32 offense.
In fact, it's
5 yards.
Sean, you got it.
Down.
That's what they reacted on.
You'll see Wright Fair moves in the slot. He's standing up on the left of your screen, and there you saw him move. It almost drew London offside too, but Wright Fair's movement was first.
That was close. Split second, but it goes to London's advantage. And that brings up second down and 15. And the fans getting behind Gino Torretta and the Fire. They're wet, but they're having fun. And they'll have more fun if this one goes in. Sean Wright Fair had a piece of that and just let it go. It was thrown hard, and that's not an easy ball to catch, but I think Sean Bay would agree. He should have picked that one up.
I think he was thinking about where he was going to run before he actually caught the ball. See now, Torretta, let's see the drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-step drop. He's going to go, give himself some time. He squares off for Wright Fair. Wright Fair's looking right at the ball. There you see now, he's looking downfield. He doesn't see a man open. He takes a second look. Now he goes to the escape valve. And right fair, see how he looked at the defender coming up? He took his eyes off the ball.
Third down, and going for it all and almost getting a touchdown. That was close. Derek Owens made a huge effort to get that one and crashed into the advertising hoardings.
And unlike Brad Johnson's ball for Titley, which was a line drive that Titley had to try to bring in, Toretta hung that one up there for Owens to let him get out for it. Owens just couldn't reach it.
So important for the Monarchs that they held the Rhein Fire there. It brings up Julio Caravata, who won a Grey Cup in the Canadian Football League with the British Columbia Lions, and he will attempt a 38-yarder and shanks it. Well, we said his kicking was a little bit suspect, and he never really got a good piece of that one. So the Monarchs hold firm. It's 7-3 to the Fire. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back in a minute.
Pass. And then as the play unfolds, you follow it. If it's a running play, you go to the point of attack, knowing what we have to get done in order to make the play successful. If it's a pass play, as the quarterback goes back, then I immediately transfer my attention to the coverage down the field, because the coverage then dictates what the quarterback does with the football.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
I know a place where the girls are naked all the time.
Will you take your clothes off for $103.62? Oh!
What started out
Show me yours and I'll show you mine.
as a little day trip
Who is she? She's Brad's new math tutor.
turned into the adventure
What are you doing? I'm staying for a while.
of a lifetime.
This is a woman.
Melanie Griffith, Ed Harris,
Which brings us to sex.
Milk Money. Playing this month on DirecTV.
So the Fire could have extended their lead, but Julio Caravata never really got a hold of this.
Kicking game so important. London came out with a field goal from almost the same spot. London now hold Rhein because Caravata doesn't get a good piece of the ball. Everything was perfect. The hold was there. He knows that he's come around on it too hard, and he knows that he's missed it.
Galen Hall has Andreas Schroeder, a German kicker, on his books, and there's a German linebacker out on the field now, Klaus Biedermann, number 58. As they ring the changes defensively, Anthony Fieldings is in at middle linebacker, and the handoff up the middle. Victor looking for some running room. Doesn't get an awful lot, but picks up 4 or 5 yards, and it's Klaus Biedermann along with Anthony Fieldings, the two new guys that come in and make the stop. Well, there's a look at the London Monarchs national players. The 4 guys at the top there are the 4 guys that are here tonight. Victor Exabubadike getting a start. We will see Hutchinson, Capes and Cohen, I'm sure, at some point. Victor picking up 5 yards there, brings up a 2nd down and 5. And again, the handoff and up the middle and close to 1st down yardage. This is what they wanted from Victor Abubadike.
And Biedermann actually got good penetration on that one, but Victor just blew right by him.
So Victor, who had so many glory years with the London Ravens, now playing at a much, much higher standard, of course. They want him to be a factor in this game. A couple of useful carries, brings up a 1st down. Johnson looking, it's batted away, coming up very quickly. Vaughan Bryant was all over that one.
And the pass was deflected in the line before it even got there to Bryant, so that was dangerous because it was hanging up there.
And it was Klaus Biedermann, I think, that got a piece of it. We may see another look at that.
Now watch the linebackers there. In the middle of the line, Carl Dunbar, who got the piece of the ball before Bryant, nearly 6. Vaughan Bryant had a lot of clear sailing in front of him.
2nd down and 10. Johnson dropping back, deep drop, lots of time. And he's got his man, and it's a 1st down. Ronnie West gets wrapped up by Greg Lane, but all the time in the world there for Brad Johnson. That London offensive line doing its job.
And a nice catch because that ball took a little while to get there, and he was all over Ronnie West. Now Johnson's got good protection. Line does a nice job of giving him time to throw. And you see Lane's all over Ronnie West, but he concentrates on the ball, keeps his feet, and he's an ex-running back, remember. Now look, watch that offensive line. See, Victor does a little bit of help on Somalo, but he's never even close. Lots of time for Johnson.
1st down, Johnson looking to throw once again. He's got Ronnie West again, a pickup of around 16 or 17 yards. Mike Salmon and Greg Lane, but Brad Johnson to Ronnie West, they made that one look very easy indeed. And the protection, Mike, is absolutely first class.
And that's what you want. Ronnie West, particularly good at just drifting into those spaces. He doesn't run the sharp patterns because he's not a small, wide receiver. He's a running back, but he's great at drifting into those patterns. This kind of turf is probably going to help him.
The ball spotted at the 33-yard line. And Brad Johnson has got the Monarchs on a roll. Hands off to Victor Ibubadike, who pushes 3 or 4 yards behind that offensive line. A whole bunch of fire defensive players in there. I think Anthony Fieldings was in the thick of it.
And running right behind Chris Lunenberg.
But it was Tony Brooks, not Victor Ibubadike, getting the call that time.
And Bobby Hammond would really like to establish a running game and a dominant back. So the opportunity is there for one of these running backs to take it.
And Bobby Hammond was saying he wants a franchise back. And he doesn't really mind if it's Tony Brooks or Victor Ibubadike, just as long as it's somebody. Johnson on second down, evades the rush but can't get past Leroy Smith, who nails him for a loss.
Klaus Biederman was one of the guys putting the original pressure on. Johnson stepped up and avoided the first rusher, but right into the hands of the second. Now Biederman's going to come from the upper left-hand side. There's Smith. He's picked up well. And it was Cruz coming through, who fought off the blocker and got the first hand on Brad Johnson.
So third down and 9. Lionel Taylor in discussion on the sidelines. Big play coming up this for the Monarchs. Dropping back into a passing situation. It's short of first down yardage unless the running back. Good second effort. That will be close to first down yardage. Mike Titley must have picked that ball up 2 yards short of the first down, and it's going to be close.
And I'll tell you, Brad Johnson was looking Titley all the way on that one. They wanted to go to the big tight end, and you can see why.
And I tell you, they got him isolated on Anthony Fieldings there. They're looking to get these one-on-one matchups with Titley.
There's very few linebackers, especially inside linebackers, who can stay with Titley if he goes deep.
Johnson's numbers not setting the place alight, but doing a very good job. This looks a good, balanced attack. In contrast to last week, Tony Brooks gets the call. Mike Salmon flattens him on 4th and 1. In fact, it's Victor, 33 and 35. They look so alike. But no mistaking, that's Victor Ibubadike.
And the off-tackle hole was huge there, right through the line.
Chris Lundberg getting up, Tony Brooks picking up 3 or 4 yards behind the big guys. 9 minutes left first half. London trailing 7-3, but another impressive offensive drive this.
And that London offensive line, it's been sort of cobbled together. They had to move guys around before the season started, but right now they're doing a great job.
2nd and 7. Johnson looks one way, looks the other, goes high, and nothing doing there for Allen. Allen, who's been very quiet. Mike Salmon and Vaughn Bryant were on him. He was double-teamed all game last week, and he's not seeing too much of the ball this week so far.
Salmon, the free safety, did a really good job of reading the ball because it's a soft pass and it gives him time to get over. And you like the Pointer Sisters, Mike Salmon is related to the actress Holly Hunter.
An Oscar winner. Big third down play, 3rd and 7. A vital play this for the Monarchs. Johnson drops back the pass, and it's batted up in the air. And a big play defensively coming up once again from Arthur Bussey, number 61. I think got a piece of that. He raises his hands. He says, I'll claim that, thank you very much. And that breaks up an impressive London drive.
One of the things Brad Johnson's doing is looking at his receiver the whole way. He's looking that side, and they know he's going to throw. That gives Bussey the chance to get up in the air because he sees that Johnson's going to unload. He's got a big motion.
So Silvestri will now attempt a 36-yarder. He's nailed a 44-yarder already. Low snap, but Silvestri's got a piece of that. Well, Don Silvestri is hot tonight. Another field goal for him. That one 36 yards, and he made it look very easy. So the London Monarchs pull to within a point of the Rhein Fire. They haven't hit a touchdown yet, but 2 offensive series for the Monarchs where you see their offense for the first time this season really coming together.
It's starting to click. It'll go all the way sooner or later, but each time they're coming down now, they're coming out of it with points, and that's the important thing.
And Don Silvestri nailing 2 for 2 this evening, 44 yards and 36 yards for the man from the University of Pittsburgh. He was a walk-on at Pittsburgh. Well, World League affairs are always a little bit special. This one, of course, no exception. They had quite a pre-game party. People from all over Europe. We even got some Welsh fans that come along, making it all a little bit special. Fire eaters, well, you had to have that. Mike Carlson was offered an opportunity to do that, turned it down, can't think why.
I don't like fire drills.
And inside the stadium, well, the atmosphere just as electric, an all-round experience. 7-6, the London Monarchs trailing the Rhein Fire. Silvestri gets us underway. Another shallow kick is fielded at the 12-yard line by Tyrone Johnson, who looks for running room and has got some. Flag comes in late, but Silvestri had to come in with a big play there. It was Silvestri that made the stop, but Johnson almost exploded.
It's 2 tackles for Silvestri, and that was a good one because Johnson was long gone if he didn't take him down.
Oh, he was the last guy.
We have an illegal block in the back on number 59 of the return team. It'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
That goes against Terry Crews, and that does London a favor.
Now watch Terry Crews on the left of your screen, right there, the push from behind. That's all it takes to be illegal. And like so many of those blocks, you didn't really need to do it.
And look at the tackle from Silvestri. You say kickers are soft and that they can't make tackles, but that was a gutsy tackle right there.
He wasn't just throwing himself, he had the arms out to make the tackle, make sure Johnson went down.
Well, he's 6'4" and 15 stone, Don Silvestri. First down, Fire, Toretta with the handoff, fumbles the ball. And now, who has reclaimed that? This is a big play right here. Ronald Williams. I think he may have recovered it.
He fumbled and he fell right on it. Bounced off the grass right back.
He's gonna do it again.
Stomach.
So the Rhein Fire dodged a bullet there. Ronald Williams never really had a piece of that one until the end.
Look at the handoff from Toretta. There's a little motion in the line. Toretta puts it in. He never really had the handle on the ball. It sort of slid against his jersey, but he came down right on top of it, saving it for the Fire.
No gain on the play. Second down and 10. Toretta gives it to Williams, right fair once again, who is nailed. A.J. Jenkins, the defensive end, came up and made the stop along with Dave Hoffman.
Classic middle linebacking play by Hoffman. Washington University middle linebacker. Keying on that tailback.
There's Brad Smith, the reserve linebacker, who's been injured for much of the season. But the defensive guys here, you see Lewis Capes, number 66, is in on the play at right defensive end. He'll be looking to make a tackle, make a name for himself. In fact, moves into defensive tackle. He's the 3rd guy up, Lewis Capes, on your screen there. Toretta dumps it off. He's got right fair in the middle, fumbles the ball, and is recovered by London. And it's Gabriel Oladipo that's come up with the recovery. A big defensive series there for the London Monarchs. There was a fumble that the Rhein Fire recovered. They didn't get away with it a second time.
Now the quarterback's Doug Nussmeier here, the lefty. It's a nice easy pass to Fair. He has a little trouble holding on to it, and as he shifts it, he gets hit hard by Buck right on the ball. That's what jars it loose. And Oladipo, good reactions from the defensive tackle to come up with a fumble recovery.
The Fire got away with it once, they didn't get away with it twice, and it's London in excellent field position on the 23-yard line. Handoff straight up the middle and barreling his way forward. Unstoppable stuff from Victor Ebubadike. First down, stop that. In fact, it's Tony Brooks.
And what makes this for Brooks is it's such a quick handoff, just a quick dive. Now look, see the guard pulling out there? Right behind the guard, runs right off his tail and right through. Quick execution by the London line and a good burst by Tony Brooks.
I tell you something, I haven't seen Tony Brooks run like that for a long time. I think seeing Victor Abubadike in the starting lineup has shaken this guy up. Smart psychology from Bobby Hammond.
And he got a great block from Dan Schmidt on the right side of that line.
First down, Monarchs at the 13. They're looking for it. Johnson fakes the handoff, pressure coming from Bussey, but he's got a man, and making the catch and hanging on is Mike Titley in double coverage. Jason Atkinson was there. Titley hung on.
And boy, was that one up for grabs, because that play just didn't work. Now watch the right side of your screen where Titley's lined up. Johnson faking the bootleg, doesn't really fool anybody. He knows he's got to get rid of it, and he throws it up for grabs. And Titley does a nice job of running to the ball. Good hands by Mike Titley.
The ball at the 5-yard line, second down and a long 2 to go for the London Monarchs, looking to go on top for the first time this season. Looking for Allen, and Allen didn't look around, and Vaughan Bryant had pretty good coverage on it. Was the ball thrown before Allen was looking?
Looked like a timing pattern, and Allen was looking the wrong way on that one, or else Johnson threw it the wrong way.
Well, there's the play sent in by Lionel Taylor, the offensive coordinator. You sense the excitement on the Monarchs sideline. This is 10 times better than last week. They look a team.
Momentum, such a big thing. Now both backs are going to stay in. Give Johnson time to throw. Watch for the man crossing across.
Third down, they want 6 out of this. Johnson gets pressure, looks, finds a man. It was almost broken up. It's short, I think, of first down yardage. Greg Lane came up with a big play. Mike Titley, though, hung on. It's going to be close, depends where they spot this.
And Titley, again, that ball was up for grabs, and Titley did a great job.
Give it to Victor. Give it to Victor.
Now the play's designed for the receiver cutting from the right all the way across going left, but he's not open. Johnson now is under pressure, so he throws for Titley. Not much on the ball, but Titley does a great job of holding on.
Leroy Smith, number 52, is out of the game at the moment. First down, the handoff is to Victor, who's already scored 1 World League touchdown. Didn't get a second one there. Vaughan Bryant wouldn't let him turn the corner. Victor will lose about 3. Let's see if we can listen into the play here from Lionel Taylor. Vaughan Bryant stopped Victor Abubadike from claiming his second touchdown. Significant that Leroy Smith, number 52, is out of the lineup for the Fire. He has made a lot of tackles in this game so far. Second quarter, London trailing 7-6, looking to go on top. Johnson fires, he's got a man. Titley pushed out of bounds by Vaughan Bryant, who's should be getting overtime for this. Titley close, thought he'd got it, but Vaughan Bryant stopped a touchdown there. But Titley coming up with another big play.
And they're using Mike Titley inside and outside, trying to get him away from the safeties and onto the cornerbacks. Now watch the right side of your screen. There's Mike Titley. Cruz had him at first in the zone. Now Bryant does a good job of reacting because he was starting to go with the wide receiver. Just short of the touchdown for Mike Titley.
And they've given it a not very favourable spot as far as London are concerned. Galen Hall, I don't think, is going to mind where they've spotted the ball. It's been spotted at the 2-yard line.
I think the knees went out before he got the ball down with the hand.
And another player down for the Frankfurt Galaxy. That's Mac Travis, the big defensive tackle. They've already lost Leroy Smith. There's not much room for injured players. The squads are small. If they've lost Smith and if they lose Travis and they lost Tony Lensane, the tight end, earlier, the Fire could be in trouble. Travis is well and truly shaken up. We're getting close to the 2-minute warning here, but I think we're going to have a timeout here so that Travis can get some attention.
Okay, let's go.
44 lead.
Yeah.
High right, 44 lead.
Get it. Hold that ball.
Gotta go to the top. I think
Get him, hold that ball.
Ronnie West at the Z. I've already talked West through. All right, 44 lead. Okay.
The man on the left of the screen there is Coach Charlie Davis, the offensive line coach. They're looking for a 44 lead, Mike.
44 lead off tackle play from the halfback following the fullback through the hole.
But Galen Hall, of course, doesn't know that. He's just got to hope that his defense can hold firm.
I think Galen's trying to tune his telex set in there to try to listen to what the Monarchs are sending in.
You should be listening to Sky Sports, Galen. 3rd and goal, and Travis still down.
Brad Johnson's heading back to the sidelines to talk it over again with Bobby Hammond.
Well, it looks as if Travis is going to return under his own steam, but you don't like to see this. Meanwhile, the offensive think tank continues. So we're close to the 2-minute warning as Mac Travis limps slowly off. But it looks like he's going to be okay. We'll try and bring you word on Travis and indeed on Tony Lensane, the injured tight end, later on when we have it.
And I think what the Monarchs had just decided was if they don't get the first down, they will definitely kick the field goal. They're not going to go for the touchdown.
Johnson's numbers, 11 of 18. There was a couple that could have been caught as well in there. He looks a very accomplished quarterback to me, a good leader, a lot of poise, stands firm under fire. And significantly this week, he's eliminated his mistakes.
What he's doing under pressure now, he's looking for Mike Titley under pressure, throwing off balance and getting him the ball. Mike Titley's doing a good job of hanging on to it.
And we're at the 2-minute warning with the score. The Rhein Fire 7, the London Monarchs 6. We're going to take a timeout as well. Join us after the break.
While NFL action is still months away, the NFL has launched a new season on the internet. NFL Sidelines is an online connection to your favorite teams and players. Connect on the net with NFL fans around the world and chat live with the biggest names in football.
This movie is rated R.
Plus special coverage of the 1995 NFL Draft. The NFL moves into cyberspace with NFL Sidelines. Tackle the internet.
And to this reporter, it's obvious that these strike negotiations are going nowhere fast.
Well, I've had just about enough.
Let's go.
Excuse me.
Love the shoes.
What were we thinking? After you. No, after you.
Life is good. When you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good.
Our work here is done.
Play ball.
I think the initial hit is still pretty much coached the same way, in that you have to approach him facing the numbers and then wrap him up, and then if he slides one way or the other, it becomes an arm tackle. But you're also taught to get in there and to try to strip the ball carrier of the football. And I think defensive coaches are stressing that more and more.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
The moon is rising. The passion is growing. The animal is out. Nicholson. Pfeiffer.
Don't look so scared.
Wolf, playing on DirecTV.
2 minutes left in the first half. The Rhein Fire leading the London Monarchs 7-6, but the Monarchs with a big third down coming up at the 2-yard line. The only thing that hasn't worked for the Monarchs in the first half, they haven't got a touchdown. They'd love to change that now.
And they would love it so much, they were debating what play to call. Again, Brad Johnson was out. Now, we may see the 44Z cross, which would be a play-action pass with a wide receiver crossing over. There is no wide receiver here. It looks like we'll get that run.
What a confidence booster this would be if they can punch this one in. Here it comes. The handoff is to Victor. He goes in. Touchdown, London. It's not confirmed yet. Yes, it is now. London are on top.
That was that 44 follow we heard them say and talked about. They stuck with it. They know they can move the ball on the ground. They got that first big touchdown.
The crowd don't like it. Galen Hall certainly doesn't like it. But after taking a 7-0 lead and really controlling that early session, the Rhein Fire find themselves 12-7 down with Don Silvestri's extra point attempt to come. Good snap, no problem there from Silvestri. The London Monarchs lead the Rhein Fire. They're ahead for the first time this season, 13-7. And there's the man that put it in, Victor Exabubadike, the former London Raven, who said that the British players would be passengers. This guy isn't.
And that Rhein defense was bending and not breaking against Scotland, and the same against London, but they finally broken. Now watch the line play on this one, because Victor's got some room to move here. Straight ahead blocking. There's the blocking back. He follows the blocking back right through the hole, and Bobby Hammond loves it.
Yeah, I'll have a bit of that, says Bobby. Thank you very much. He's been looking for a running back to come up with it. And credit Bobby Hammond for entrusting Victor Ebubadike with one of the big plays of the game.
I'll tell you, he trusts Victor and he trusts that offensive line because they're opening up holes. They're winning it the hard way, down in the pits.
So Pointer and Johnson back deep for the Rhein Fire. Important now that the special teams do their job as well. A lot of momentum going London's way here. Late first half, they lead it 13-7. Silvestri's kick is high. It's another poor kick fielded at the 17 by Pointer. Pointer looking to cut inside, stays on his feet, but is down at around the 34-yard line. You always feel, though, when Darren Pointer gets his hands on the ball that something could happen. And look who was in on the tackle, Victor Ebubadike.
And Victor's in on the special teams. He's running. They said yesterday they're trying to kill me. They're using me everywhere.
But he's not complaining. A man that just wants to play ball. We're at about 1:39 left in the first half, so the Fire will go to their hurry-up offense. London outgaining the Rhein Fire. First down for the Fire, looking to respond, down by 6. High snap, well fielded by Nussmeier, who fires and gets his man. That will be a first down, but it stays in bounds, so the clock will continue to run.
And Nussmeier did a good job of getting rid of the ball because he was hit hard immediately afterwards, and he drilled that pass in.
Doug Nussmeier from the New Orleans Saints, working with some of his old pals here. Both tackles are Saints. Tyrone Johnson, number 83, also plays in Louisiana. First down, the Fire looking to come back. Nussmeier steps up into the pocket, evades the rush, but can't, and he's fumbled the ball. The ball is loose, and it's been recovered by the Rhein Fire, but Billy Lofton forcing the fumble, and Tony Rowell came up from center. A good heads-up play from him to recover the ball.
They'll probably rule that that was an incomplete.
Player opposite the fumbler. It's the offense's ball at the spot of the fumble. Still second down.
And they are calling it a fumble. Nussmeier, good job of avoiding the first rush, but now he can't get far enough outside. That's great pursuit there by Dunbar, by Billy Lofton, I'm sorry.
Rhein Fire, that's their second team.
And it is a fumble, but remember, the offense can't advance the ball.
So Nussmeier comes off, and Lewis Capes had a piece of that as well. There he is, the son of Jeff Capes. I'm sure we're going to be hearing from Dad at halftime, who no doubt is watching on with great pride, as are we all. Lewis Capes, who played for Colorado State, getting a chance to make his name here in Dusseldorf. So much sharper defensively, London, than they were last week as well.
Both sides of the game. You can just see they came here to play, and they're actually doing it now. Momentum, such a big factor, too. Once things started working, you notice how everybody picks it up just a little bit.
Minute 12 left in the first half for Doug Nussmeier to pull a rabbit out of the hat here for the Rhein Fire. Had a tough baptism in Scotland. Completed just 1 of 5 passes for -4 yards. He's a lot better than that, of course. But London making it hot for him here in Dusseldorf. And with 1 timeout left, he perhaps will be looking to try and get the ball outside so that his receivers can get out of bounds and stop the clock. Second down and about 14. Nussmeier with a lot of time this time is flushed out of the pocket, pursuit coming, and Nussmeier does indeed get out of bounds. Will pick up around 4 yards on that play, but he couldn't get the pass off.
He does the smart thing and makes sure he gets out of bounds, but good pressure again from London. They're getting that rush from the ends now, Jenkins and Herman Smith.
Galen Hall, his forte is offense. Turned the University of Florida into a feared offensive machine in the mid-1980s.
University of Florida quarterback U in those days.
Third and around 9 for the Fire, looking to convert here. The clock continuing to run. 1:04. Nussmeier with time, goes high, gets his man. It's a first down, but the fumble again, and it looks like London have recovered that one. Eric Stevens all over it. This London defense is transformed. And Eric Stevens, another player dropped from the starting lineup, comes back and tells his coach he can still play, and Galen Hall can just stand and watch, and he doesn't like it.
Now they've got 4 wideouts in, and it's basically one-on-one, man-to-man coverage on each one of them. So Owens runs the over the middle pattern, and he's open, and he just leaves the ball on his hip there as he gets hit. Doesn't do a good job of protecting it, and it pops loose, a Monarchs ball.
Well, Seanbay Wright Fair fumbled the ball. Now it's the turn of Derek Owens.
mistakes such an important part of this game.
Clock continuing to run. Johnson steps up into the pocket. Flag comes down. It's complete to Victor Abubadike, who's got a lot of running room and takes it to the 40, but a flag came down in the Monarchs backfield, which would suggest offensive holding, but we'll have to wait and see. Victor, nevertheless, picked up nearly 20 yards on that catch.
Carl Dunbar saying that he got held by his face mask, then he got back down to help on the tackle.
Holding on the offense, number 57. That's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still first down. That's
Dan Schmidt, the young right guard, getting assessed for the hold, but the flag came down immediately, so the 20-yard pass to Victor Abubadike is written off.
And Schmidt is the guy on Dunbar, so it looks like that's probably what Dunbar's signal would go.
Well, that's the story of the penalties in the first half. London have picked up 6 for 55, one of which was the big pass interference play, of course. The Rhein Fire 4 for 25, and that brings up first down and 20. And another flag comes down, and it looks as if the London Monarchs have decided they will take a 13-7 lead into the locker room, but there is a flag. We'll have to wait and see what the call is here. Brad Johnson's looking.
And that last flag was a real shame because Johnson, a heady play to just shovel that pass to Victor X Abubadike.
We have 12 men on the field on the defensive team. That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
That isn't even legal in the World League, but a lot of these guys come out of the CFL. Maybe they think they're playing Canadian football.
Still got 12 men on the field. 12 guys on the field.
When things are going wrong, they really go wrong, and Galen Hall does not like it.
That is not a happy sideline, and I tell you, I'm glad I'm not a Rhein Fire player, because Galen Hall is going to have some fairly choice words to say to his players in just a few moments from now. And that brings up a 1st and 15. Now, we saw Brad Johnson drop to one knee on the last play. Maybe he'll just decide to air this one out and perhaps go for it. In fact, they hand off up the middle. They're going to run out the clock on this one. Anthony Fielding's number 50, along with Carl Dunbar, making the stop. A pickup of 2 or 3 yards will bring up 2nd and long. 30 seconds remaining in the first half, Mike.
Obviously a problem when you can't see the scoreboard clock and you've got to check with the referees to find out how much time is left.
It's continuing to run. We're down to 15 seconds. We should just about get one more play off. And I think Bobby Hammond is going to resist the temptation to air it. Instead, he just hands the ball off up the middle. Tony Brooks draws a crowd. Anthony Fielding's in there on top of him once again. And I think that should do it for the first half. Indeed, that is the end of the first half. A good one for Bobby Hammond, who saw his team come back from an early 7-point deficit to rattle up 13 points. Much, much better from the Monarchs.
It's the London Monarchs of old. A lot of spirit and a lot of fire.
So with the score, the Monarchs ahead of the Fire by 13 points to 7.
Competition that you have in the game, and that's what attracted me to the game. You have to be physical, you have to have great athletic ability, and you have to know what you're doing. There's a mental aspect of the game that's so very important to you. But I think that this, more than anything else, has attracted me to football more so than other sports.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
Hey, 49er fans. Your team just completed a record-breaking season. Player of the Year Steve Young and Jerry Rice paced the league's best offense, while Deion Sanders tightened up the D. Together, they won an unprecedented 5th Super Bowl. So, 49er fans, what do you do for an encore? The official 49ers championship video is available now.
There's a place in the Big Apple where New Yorkers rush to be on the cutting edge. It's Jean-Louis David, a touch of Paris right in the middle of Manhattan. So if you're looking for a new you, drop in anytime at any of their locations. You don't need an appointment, just your Visa card. Because when it comes to your hair and Jean-Louis David, American Express just won't cut it. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Word is, you're the best.
Sylvester Stallone.
You think the killing is gonna make everything all right?
Sharon Stone.
Little Danger never killed anybody.
I'm sorry. Should I have knocked?
James Woods, Eric Roberts.
Waste him.
And Rod Steiger.
I give the orders.
In the most explosive movie you'll see this year.
I'm breathless with anticipation.
The Specialist.
Playing on DirecTV.
Well, the story of the first half, a touchdown apiece, but 2 field goals as well from the London Monarchs. And after falling behind 7-0, they've gone ahead 13-7. It didn't look good to start with when Gino Torretta opened the scoring with that 9-yard touchdown pass to Ronald Williams, because this had been a good Rhein drive.
Rhein came out, Nick, and did exactly what they wanted to do. They mixed up the short pass and the run, set up the long pass, and then a nicely executed play to get Williams open in the flat. And an easy touchdown for him, and one that he enjoyed quite a bit.
And everything going the Rhein Fire's way at that point. But back came London, a couple of useful-looking drives, a couple of field goals, and then on 3rd and 2, they give the ball to Victor X.
And they wanted to establish the run. It was one of their priorities coming into the game, and they did that. They had such confidence that on the 3rd and short, they went on the ground for the score.
Just about ready for the second half kickoff. The story really for me, though, Mike, of that second quarter was fumbles and turnovers. How often do we see that a team that gives up the most turnovers ends up losing? And that was the story of the Rhein Fire in the first half. There you see it, 2 turnovers, and it turned into 10 points.
Otherwise, you see from the stats, it's a pretty much an even game.
Not much in it, 6 points in it in favor of the London Monarchs. But as you see from those numbers, very, very tight, and hanging on to the ball seems to be the key. Now, Mike, we've seen Brad Johnson at quarterback all the way through the first half. Are we going to see Jim Ballard, his backup, coming on for the 3rd quarter, do you think?
We should. Ballard, another NFL allocated player. He needs to play a quarter in each game. We'll probably see him in the 3rd.
Eric Stevens and Steve Hutchinson are back deep, ready to receive. And it's a high kick fielded, and not very well fielded, at about the 25 by Eric Stevens, who picks his way through to around the 38-yard line. Another very, very shallow kick. Kickoffs not too impressive in this game so far, and Stevens managed to pick it up and get London good field position. So they start off reasonably well, 6 points to the good and with the ball, but let's wait and see who comes on as quarterback.
And these short kicks also mean that with that good field position, you should see a lot of offense right off the bat.
There we see Larry Wallace splitting wide to the left.
Brad Johnson in at quarterback for the 3rd quarter.
And hands off, and they pick up 2 or 3 yards up the middle. Carl Dunbar in on the stop. Victor X Abubadike carrying on where he left off at the end of the first half. Brad Johnson looking very composed and assured back there. The Minnesota Viking in charge. The numbers not spectacular, but it doesn't matter. He's in control out there.
And he'll take numbers like that.
2nd down and 7 after the pickup of 3 from Abubadike. Johnson gets some pressure, gets out of the pocket, looks, he fires a man, he's got Alan Allen wide open, and Alan Allen has fumbled the ball. It's gone out of bounds. London get a break. Alan Allen was wide open, then he fumbled the ball and it went out of bounds. Matt Gay, number 40, the strong safety, came in and made the hit, but a big play and another smart play from the quarterback.
Now Atkinson, the middle linebacker's coming up on the blitz, and Johnson does a good job of getting the ball away. And what that means is they're sitting back in the zone, and Allen comes through now. He's beaten his man on the outside. And the pass, Johnson did a good job of getting away, but it was a little behind him, and he jarred away, but luckily for the Monarchs,
and it's
out of bounds.
At the 19-yard line, and they're looking to establish the run and not getting very far there before he's gang tackled. Is Tony Brooks. Jason Atkinson, the first man there, but just about everybody else joined him pretty quickly, and Brooks ran into a wall.
The ball's starting to bounce the Monarchs' way. It didn't do much of that in Frankfurt last week.
Tony Brooks, he's fired up. Mike Titley, number 82 there. Ronnie West splits wide left. Alan Allen is at the bottom of your screen. Lots of time, a fake. Johnson's found a man. Ronnie West just overthrows him. Greg Lane had pretty good coverage, and that looked a little high.
Nice coverage by Lane, but the ball was high because he was well covered. Johnson trying on the pump and go, but West not the kind of receiver that Wallace is for that kind of a play, because he's not the deep threat that Wallace is. I suspect that Wallace went right out because that injured leg muscle just can't loosen up in this kind of weather.
Big play early in the third quarter here for the London Monarchs, knocking on the door, but they need quite a few yards on this third down, 8 to be precise. Johnson dropping back, got lots of time. He's got Tony Brooks over the middle. He's tackled by Jason Atkinson, and that will be short of first down yardage. Good heads-up play from the middle linebacker. And they're sending for the field goal unit.
London will be content to take that 3. Now again, they moved the ball well. Johnson did a good job there of keeping the drive alive, keeping good position for the field goal.
It will be a 27-yarder for Don Silvestri, who's already nailed it from 44 and 36. Looking to go 3 for 3. The snap good, the hold good, and it's blocked. Live ball. If Rhein can recover that and return it, which they won't, but had Rhein been able to recover that ball and return it, but nothing doing, and it's just a great big argy-bargy. So Don Silvestri nails the 2 tough ones, but the easy one, the chip shot from 27 yards, is blocked.
There was a lot of pressure coming in there. LeVar Ball did a good job of falling on the ball and prevented from being advanced, but have to see where the pressure came from now. On the replay, watch the right side of your screen. It's right in, and it's the missed assignment there because the linebacker on the outside taking the blocking went the wrong way. That was Hoffman, the middle linebacker, lined up on the outside.
So the Rhein Fire take over. Chambé Wright Fair, who started off so well in the first quarter, didn't do a lot in the second quarter, had a drop, but picks up around 5 there on the first down. Gino Torretta has completed 7 of 12. There's a touchdown in there. But this is a big play, man. You get the feeling that sooner or later Gino Torretta will let a big one go. He did it against Scotland last week. Second down, lots of time, pressure coming from the outside, but Torretta gets time, he's picked off. Rick Newbill returns it to the 10-yard line.
And give A.J. Jenkins a lot of credit on that, because he came in, his pressure forced Torretta to move up in the pocket and throw the ball off balance. Torretta didn't get much on it. Now watch A.J. Jenkins from the defensive end position on the right of your screen. See, he forces Torretta up, and Toretta's stepping as he throws, so he doesn't get much on the ball. Newbill's there as it goes past the receiver. Good running job by Newbill. And here you see, there's Jenkins on the outside. They push him away, but he gets enough penetration on it to move Torretta up, and you saw there was nothing on the ball.
So Brad Johnson with another chance. Hands the ball off, straight up the middle, good for 2 or 3 yards. Jason Atkinson stayed at home. Tony Brooks with the carry. That really the story of the game so far. You can't win in this game with turnovers. Rhein have given up 3 of them, and they're not happy. Galen Hall having some strong words with Chambé Wright Fair, with the London Monarchs up by 6, looking to put a few more on. Second down and 7, Monarchs inside the 10. The handoff up the middle to Brooks. Brooks plows his way forward. He's brought up shy of a touchdown. Mike Salmon was in there, so too was Jason Atkinson.
And center Damon Baldwin did a tremendous job of drive blocking there and opening up the hole.
Galen Hall has to hope that his team can hold here. Third down and 2. They don't need to go into the end zone to get a touchdown. 3rd and 2, big play. The handoff once again, and pushing forward, it's short of a touchdown. Carl Dunbar's on the stop, but it depends on where they spot it, because they can get a first down without getting a touchdown.
It's going to be close to that first down. Interesting again on that 3rd down situation. They keep to the ground. A lot of confidence in that offensive line.
So they're going to get the chains and measure that, but Tony Brooks on the carry once again, and somebody has rattled Tony Brooks' cage, because he has come out and he is contributing. Looks like it's going to be very close, whatever. But it's short. Now, do you go for the chip shot, or do you go for it on 4th down? That's what they're going to be deciding on the Monarchs sideline.
Number 79 reports eligible for the offensive team. 79 reports eligible.
Number 79 is Carl Petrov, a backup offensive lineman who hasn't seen much playing time.
They're playing him at the tight end position, so they've got 2 tight ends in power blocking assignment.
4th down and 1. And Johnson on a keeper, touchdown London.
And you weren't keeping Brad Johnson out on that one. Everybody was waiting for the handoff, and it took them by surprise. A nice call, and Johnson had the legs driving the whole way.
The turnovers coming back to haunt the Rhein Fire once again. 3 turnovers, 16 points, an extra point to come.
Watch the drive on the offensive line by London. Look at that. They have that first step. Johnson could have walked in backwards for that score.
Silvestri will attempt the extra point. And he nails it.
And what a reversal for the Rhein Fire. They block the field goal, keeps him in the game.
So it's all going London's way. They lead it 20-7. We'll be back after this.
There are those who go flat out just for the fun of it, and those who don't. When you go after it like this, you work up a thirst. Now, how you choose to quench that thirst depends on the answer to this simple question. Are you a man or a mouse? Hey, life is a sport. Drink it up.
The day that I stop getting nervous or anxious before a football game is the day that I'm going to hang them up, because in this business, when you start taking things in stride, there's somebody that's going to be out there that maybe gets a little more nervous or a little more anxious or have more anxieties, and they're going to beat you.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
When men do evil.
Who's there?
When the world is in danger.
Report.
Police investigation of murder.
And when the adventure begins. Who knows where it will end? Alec Baldwin. The Shadow.
Playing on DirecTV.
There's a long way to go in this game, but the London Monarchs looking so much sharper than they did in Frankfurt last week. And that really is setting themselves up nicely for a first home fixture of the season next week. If they can come off this game and hold on to this win, that'll generate an awful lot of interest and attention when they christen their new home at White Hart Lane. That'll be next week, but right now, what about this week? 20-7 to the good. Don Silvestri will get us underway. Pointer and Johnson are the deep men. And it's going to be fielded by Johnson at his own 7-yard line. Johnson looking for running room, and the Monarchs are fired up on offense, on defense, and on special teams. Well, as I say, next week, the Monarchs will entertain the Amsterdam Admirals, who incidentally leading the Frankfurt Galaxy 14-7 at the moment. If you haven't been to White Hart Lane for a while, haven't seen a Spurs game for a while, you'll be amazed at some of the changes they've made there. It really is a superb stadium. That's on Sunday. On Saturday, Barcelona host the Rhein Fire, and the Scottish Claymores are in Germany as well. They take on the Frankfurt Galaxy. Check out your ticket numbers. Tickets available for all 3 of those games. And as I say, on Sunday the 23rd, London at home to Amsterdam. Back here, the Rhein Fire looking to respond. Toretta staying in at quarterback, pressure coming. He's looking for a man. He had Ronald Williams, Kenny McIntyre had good coverage.
And who does that look like? Now, which team last week against Frankfurt, when things started going wrong, they really went wrong. It's happening now to the Rhein Fire.
Well, Galen Hall's boys hung in and played tough against Scotland last week and eventually won it on big plays.
Here's where you want a guy like Gino Toretta to take over.
Oh, one big play changes this game. And lots and lots and lots of movement there.
Russell, I think, moved the tight end on the offensive side, went down first. You said it was a tough game, Nick.
There's Jay Hillman showing the scars. He'll need a new uniform next week. Now, did the Rhein Fire move, or did the London Monarchs move? That's the call.
Prior to the snap, 45 offense, 5 yards, still second down.
And Mike Carlson calls it once again. Sean Russell, who stays in the game for the injured Tony Lensane.
When it rains, it pours. It's raining in Dusseldorf today.
Any way you care to look at it. 2nd and 15. Toretta with the handoff, right fair, can't get anywhere. Lewis Capes, number 66, can take his first tackle in the World League. He stayed at home and he tripped up right fair.
Good reaction by Lewis Capes, because there actually was some room for right fair there on that draw. And she drops back to pass, sort of telegraphs it, but Lewis Capes doing a good job of playing off the blocker, getting right fair. If he'd gotten the step to the outside, there was running room.
Lewis Capes was jumping around after that one. 3rd and long. Toretta dropping back. He's got time pressure coming. He's got right fair in the middle. And he is nailed by Kenny McIntyre just about at the line of scrimmage. This defense is playing it tougher and tougher and tougher. Toretta comes out of there with minus yardage on that drive.
And they could see that the coverage was good deep. They knew he was going to come to the checkoff man, and they got there almost before the ball did.
So Giulio Caravata will punt from his own 6-yard line. You can't rush too many guys on the punter. I think 6 is the maximum, but they're coming after Caravata. They don't get him. It's another shallow kick. And fielded at the 38-yard line. Kenny McIntyre gets past a couple of tacklers. Gets it over midfield. Kenny McIntyre does so much for this team, and a very smart heads-up off punt return. But what about Gino Toretta? Nothing he can do is coming off at the moment. They can't run, they can't pass.
And what they really wanted to do, they thought that they'd be all over the London receivers, their secondary, but it's just been the opposite. London's secondary is doing a really good job after the first quarter of shutting down the Frankfurt receivers.
The Monarchs ahead by 13, 8 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. And the Monarchs already in Rhein territory at the Rhein 48-yard line. Tony Brooks is tripped up. Carl Dunbar was in there. Joe Soimalo also in on the tackle as well.
And Dunbar really the guy that you want. You want to hold up that defensive line. There wasn't any drive there from London's offensive line. This is where Rhein can save the game.
The scoreboard clock is not working, so we can't see that ticking away. Number 12 there, a change at quarterback. Jim Ballard comes in. He's an NFL allocation player from the Cincinnati Bengals, comes from Mount Union College and holds a whole stack of NCAA Division III records. Now's a chance for him to show what he can do in the World League. And he hands it off once again to Brooks, who's going nowhere. Dunbar once again. Joe Soimalo in on the tackle as well. They've tried that play twice, and Brooks has picked up a couple of tough yards. But Jim Ballard will be looking to fare a little better than Kevin McDougal did when he came in last week.
As you said, Jim Ballard, a great quarterback at Division III level. He's got a really strong arm. What he needs is the experience of reacting to the much tougher defenses that you get at the professional level, as opposed to Division III in college. Not even the kind of experience most big school quarterbacks will get.
3rd and around 10. Terry Crews is showing blitz, and he's picked up at Ballard, looking to air it. He's got a man, but it's not really on that one. Pretty good coverage from the cornerback, Greg Lane. He was looking for Alan Allen.
Greg Lane did the good coverage. Salmon did a nice job of coming over after the throw. Allen had nowhere, and Ballard really was almost forcing the ball to try to put it in there.
So it's 3 and out for Jim Ballard. Sonny Fexico comes in to punt. Darren Pointer, that dangerous return man, back deep.
Nach wie vor 10 Yards zu überbrücken.
And here's Fexico, who punts so well in practice, but has yet to really boom one in game situations. Snap good. And it's another shallow one, and it's fielded at around the 17, and Pointer's fumbled it. And I think the Galaxy have recovered it. It is a slippery ball, but they don't seem to be able to handle it at all, the Rhein Fire. Kevin.
That was a spirally kick. Fexico still having trouble punting. And now Pointer's under it. It's not a long kick. He can come up running right off his fingertips.
So another mistake from the Rhein Fire. They get away with it, and we'll be back after this.
I think everybody now acknowledges the fact that Jerry Rice does so many things. He catches the ball, he can get deep, he catches the ball short, he can break tackles, he can run away from tacklers, he can get the ball into the end zone. He makes the big play in the big game.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
Get set for action because all this month DirecTV delivers the hard-hitting, high-flying hits you want. First, take a trip with Mickey and Mallory, two lovers with a dark side that sparked a media frenzy and left the nation in a state of shock. It's Oliver Stone's ode to our times, natural-born killers. Then shift into high-action gear with the unstoppable Arnold Schwarzenegger, a super spy on a secret mission to save not only the world, but also his marriage. True Lies. These hits will blow you away all month on DirecTV.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
The game itself is the main event, but the pre-game entertainment, a vital part of any World League game. And there was plenty for the fans to enjoy before the real kickoff here in Dusseldorf. Not too many offensive options there for Galen Hall, I don't think. And as the rain continues to fall here in Dusseldorf, I think Galen Hall would like any offensive options he could get at the moment.
He'd like to get that crowd noisy again. They were noisy before the game. They haven't had much to cheer about in the last two periods.
I've said it before, I'm saying it again. Gino Torretta, a big play quarterback, and he needs a big play. Torretta fires down the middle. He's got a man, Dave Hoffman, in on the stop. Sean Russell, the backup tight end, with the catch, just shy of first down yardage.
This is what Gino Torretta wants to do to establish that offense again. They've got a good pass. And look at the London Monarchs players holding hands in the huddle. Tell me the team spirit isn't really picking up on that London defense.
So Torretta with a second down and 3. Hands it off to Wright Fair, who picks up the first down. Dave Hoffman, number 94, banging heads with his old college adversary, but Wright Fair picked up the first down yardage there. The Rhein Fire have had some wounded players in this game. I think that was Tony Lensane, the tight end we saw there, who limped off earlier. Gino Torretta, impressive enough in the first half. Second half so far, still really to catch fire.
He wants to get that offensive line back involved in the game. You saw they had some good run blocking on the last play. See if they can do it again.
First down for the Fire. Torretta just a short drop and dumped over the middle once again. Sean Bay, Wright Fair pushes his way forward. Dave Hoffman and Kevin Porter on the stop. But a little over the top pass once again brings up another first down for the Fire.
It's the short drop by Torretta. Now he's looking, he checks all his receivers. Wright Fair just sneaks through, and you see how the middle linebackers drifted away, looking for someone coming out of the backfield to the outside. And now look at how he protects the ball going down. He's aware of the fumbles.
So the Rhein Fire managing to get something moving on offense at long last. And Torretta goes high, he's looking for Pointer, and that was a badly thrown ball, and it's picked off.
He threw that one up for Pointer to run under, and Pointer was nowhere near it. The little play fake didn't fool anybody, the pump fake didn't fool anybody.
And Kenny McIntyre was right there, and he stood there and took it and said, thank you very much.
You know, Torretta, the one fake doesn't fool anyone. Pointer's going deep, but he's got a man behind him. So the ball's just thrown up there for grabs.
And I think that is one that Gino Torretta would like to have back. They were just generating some offense, and it's all gone quiet once again for the Rhein Fire.
You said big play, Nick, and maybe they went for it a little bit too soon.
Jim Ballard stays at quarterback, hands off to Tony Brooks, who picks up 2 or 3 tough yards. Klaus Biedermann, number 58, the German national, in on the tackle, the guy from the Cologne Crocodiles. And that number says it all, and Galen Hall's expression says it all. 17 points now off the turnovers, and if they can convert this drive into points, they'll increase that number, the London Monarchs.
Like the way they get the ball to Tony Brooks quickly to try to get him through that line of scrimmage.
Second down and 8. Jim Ballard at quarterback. They show blitz. Ballard hands off to Brooks, and Brooks looks for some running room. He's stopped by Leroy Smith, number 52, who's had a good game. He's been in on a lot of plays.
And remember, if London can push the ball on the ground, the clock keeps ticking away. It never stops.
Stephen Hutchinson, number 45 in there, the former London Olympian. He's getting some playing time. Bobby Hammond, very keen to get his British players involved in all aspects of the squad, and I think that is going to come back and really help this team. Everybody's got to contribute. Third down and 4.
He's got 4 British players suited up for this game.
And we've called all their numbers so far. 3rd and 4, a big one for Jim Ballard. They hand it off once again, but nothing doing this time for Tony Brooks. He was wrapped up tight by Joe Sumalo. Nick Marfler, I think number 95 was in there as well.
Carl Dunbar's coming up big for Rhein, but remember for London, it's early in the game to get really conservative. You still have to keep the defense honest.
So 3 and out once again for Jim Ballard, brings up Sonny Fexico.
Adventures in punting.
Never a dull moment with Sonny around. Deron Pointer is stood at his own.
Watch this time. My feeling is that he drops the ball too close to his body.
Takes a lot of time. It's another wobbly one. Pointer fumbles again. And Deron Pointer is having all sorts of trouble fielding the ball. I think Mike Salmon, number 42, came over and made the recovery. But those low little squib kicks of Fexico are completely throwing Pointer.
Mike Salmon was on that one. He's another guy who was drafted by the Philadelphia Phillies as a baseball player. Looked like he was picking up a ground ball there, right in the stomach. Now, let's see if Pointer, last time it was off his fingertips, this time right off his chest. He was trying to protect the ball a little bit more. Look at Salmon. That's a free safety's reaction.
And Stephen Hutchinson, number 45, the first man there for the London Monarchs.
And the guy coming in on top of the pile was Victor X.
Good bit of British beef on the top of that ball, but unfortunately for the London point of view, the Fire hang on. And now Toretta with another chance. Gets his man, it's Pointer, who picks up around 4 or 5 yards before he goes out of bounds.
And
a
really nicely executed play action, but the London defensive backs are hanging off now. They're not playing the run right away. They're waiting to see. Here's Pointer. Now watch what his DB does to him. They want this to look like a run at first, but see how now he's laying off. He's not buying the fake at all. He stands him up.
Second down for the Fire, nothing doing there.
And they concede the short gain on the previous play.
Punt alert! Punt alert!
Taking stadium clock not working, using the old wristwatch.
This can't help, obviously. This can't help either team. The fact that the stadium clock isn't working. The equipment manager there doing his bit with the watch. Third down and around 7 to go for Gino Toretta, who will be looking to convert this one with 2 minutes left. High snap, well fielded by Toretta. Pressure coming both sides. Down he goes. Number 25, Jason Orton, was in on that one.
And the Monarchs bringing in the defensive back on the blitz, something that Toretta wasn't expecting here in the World League. Also Terry Crews, good speed from the other side. Nothing he could do about that.
So a loss of around 8 brings up Giulio Caravata. London's defense holds firm once again. Kenny McIntyre is back deep. And it's another nasty squib kick, takes a good bounce, and it will be downed at around the 14-yard line. But London's defense holds firm once again. The Rhein Fire offense not able to generate anything, and Giulio Caravata, like Sonny Fexico, is having trouble finding his range.
Good legs are hard to find in football. Really top flight kickers don't grow on trees. Special teams early in the season, tough to make them work properly, and when your kicker's not putting the ball where you think he will, where he's been putting it in practice, makes the coverage really difficult.
I think this is why we see such excitement on special teams, as we see another one of the Rhein Fire's walking wounded. They really have been banged up today. That's Mike Salmon.
First down. Did that diving for that fumble.
Brad Johnson once again back in at quarterback. They continue to run the ball. Bobby Hammond said he would do this if he could control the ball. Then he would run it, which is something that we're not going to see that much of in this league, where they're concentrating on pass. But Bobby Hammond said, if I get a chance to establish a running game and I'm ahead, I'm going to keep the ball.
Conditions couldn't be better now. A rainy day with a lead.
Well, Bobby Hammond wearing a happier look than he did this time last week in Frankfurt. Here in Dusseldorf, things starting to fall into shape for the Monarchs coach. Second down. And the pass is complete to Mike Titley, who got one-on-one coverage again, and when he gets one-on-one coverage, he gets away with it.
And you can see why so many World League coaches are high on Titley. He played for Galen Hall and Orlando in the World League Championship in the second year of the league, and he was an early draft by London. Galen Hall told us that if London hadn't taken him, he was scheduled to draft him on that round.
First down on the catch for the London Monarchs. Brad Johnson back in again after a couple of sessions with Jim Ballard. No question at all that this man is their #1 quarterback, Bobby Hammond, in no doubt about that at all. It's the end of the third quarter. The London Monarchs in control here in Dusseldorf. They lead it 20-7, and we'll be back for the fourth quarter after this.
Michael Jordan. To find what you desire requires a great effort. You look thirsty. Gatorade?
Thanks. I've come.
I know why you have come. You wish to know the meaning of life.
And?
Life is a sport. Drink it up.
That's what I figured.
Hey, 49er fans. Your team just completed a record-breaking season. Player of the Year Steve Young and Jerry Rice paced the league's best offense, while Deion Sanders tightened up the D. Together, they won an unprecedented 5th Super Bowl. So, 49er fans, what do you do for an encore? The official 49ers championship video is available now.
When you get into this profession, this coaching profession, you dream of someday being able to lead your team out to play a Super Bowl. Now, all of a sudden, it's there. You have that opportunity. It's really, it's a feeling that you can't describe. It's just such a feeling of contentment.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
The U.S. Army has been attacked by land, by air, and now by shore. He's been given 1,000 regulations.
Go up and give me push-ups!
All the way up and down, right?
And he's out to break every one of them.
Hot Wheels!
Get a hold of yourself, soldier.
Can I call you General Sweet Pants?
Pauly Shore
You a funny boy, huh?
is in the Army now, playing this month on DirecTV.
And the rock music here in the Rhein Stadion, keeping everybody very entertained during the timeout. And now it's the London Monarchs and Brad Johnson looking to do some entertaining, and a drop ball there. One of the rare failures for Tony Brooks.
Matt Gay was there on the coverage, but Johnson, they were letting it was a good swing because they were letting the rush come in, and then Johnson was going to put it over the rush to Tony Brooks.
But Brad Johnson has looked very solid this evening, and I think one of the first things he will say is that his offensive line has done a superb job for him. When you consider that 3 of those guys weren't projected as starters, but they have come in and they've risen to the occasion. And I tell you, the 2 injured players, Terrence Wisdom and John Ray, they may have trouble getting back into the lineup. 2nd down and 10. Johnson, deep drop, pressure comes, and almost picked off, and a lucky reception there for Alan Allen, who's claiming he was in bounds.
And he was in bounds. It's a question of the feet, and all you need in the World League is to have 1 foot in bounds, and you're in. Great hands by Alan Allen, good reaction. That ball should have been intercepted.
When the luck's with you, the luck is with you. That could have been an interception, but it just popped into Alan Allen's hands, and instead of a disaster for Brad Johnson, it's turned into a reception. The crowd here, almost 16,000.
15,892, and not bad for pouring rain.
And it's been slinging it down all day. 1st down. The Monarchs looking to put this one on ice. Johnson rolls right, and he's got some running room, and he steps out of bounds about a foot or so short of 1st down yardage. Terry Crews was breathing down his neck.
Little shake and bake by Brad Johnson on the sidelines. And remember what we said, they were getting in the pattern, keeping the ball on the ground. It was too early to be trying to kill the clock completely. This gets Ryan off balance. It's a great thing to do.
So Brad Johnson showing that he's able to run the ball a little bit as well.
He won't want to do that too often.
Brings up 2nd down and 2 for the London Monarchs. Leading 20-7, early 4th quarter. Looking for more. The handoff, and up the middle goes Tony Brooks. Brooks is gang tackled Mike Salmon, Jason Atkinson.
You talked about the line. Damon Baldwin, the center, has been doing a great job all day. Watch the man in the middle of your screen, Damon Baldwin. See how he holds? Now the handoff. This is a timing play. He knows the handoffs come. He's got to take out the linebacker, and he's going to get him one way or another. Atkinson can't do anything about it. That gets Tony Brooks a good 4 or 5 yards more. Nice blocking by the London line.
First down, Monarchs, and they keep running, nothing doing this time for Tony Brooks, who runs into a brick wall. Nick Marfala, number 95 from Hawaii, the first man there. It doesn't work every time, Mike.
No, but all you want to do is to be able to establish so you can break one out of every 3 of those running plays. You've got to get the line back. You want the defensive line back on their heels. You want your guys firing out into them.
12:30.
And what this does do, of course, is it eats up the clock. London ahead 20-7, fourth quarter, and Rhein can't get their hands on the ball. Johnson passes this time, a little pattern to Allen, who picks up a reception and just short of first down yardage. Greg Lane snapping at his ankles, but that'll bring up a 3rd and short.
And Greg Lane, a good coverage man, good tackling man, and Allen limping a little, which is a bad sign. But Johnson, now he knows he's going to Allen, and Allen's wide open because they're laying off them, as we said earlier. And if you can get the ball to Allen one-on-one, it's a good sign. Lane tugging away at that ankle.
3rd down and a few inches for Bobby Hammond's London Monarchs.
Watch the second back through here.
And there he goes. Tony Brooks plows his way for first down yardage. Arthur Bussey, number 61, made the tackle, but Brooks good for a first down.
And Victor X doing that blocking as the lead back. He's versatile. He can do both positions.
Less than 12 minutes to go. And Brad Johnson is leading the London Monarchs on another impressive drive. Looking to draw some offside. Stephen Hutchinson, the London Olympian, draws a crowd and may not have got back to the line of scrimmage. They were ready for Steve Hutchinson. Terry Crews, the first man there. Hutch did well to hang on.
And they know that Hutch is a speed back, and they know he's probably going to want to go outside.
The find of the season in the British Leagues last year. Joined the London Olympians, led them to domestic and European triumph.
But look at how many things it opens up for you when the ground game's working. How much better it makes your passing game.
Second down and 10, Monarchs. Victor X spinning and twisting his way through for around 7. Nick Marfala there.
And that was a savvy piece of running because Victor X headed toward the hole and just took one step to give himself the room he needed to make the ground.
Well, those numbers tell their tale. London grinding it out in the second half. 92 yards total, 54 of them this half so far.
And it's been shared by the backs. They're moving the ball around well. Bobby Hammond may not have his franchise back, but he's doing a good job of getting a running game out of all of his running backs.
Nick Marfala, the backup defensive lineman, is shaken up on the play. It looks like he's going to be okay. He's limping off under his own steam. They've been banged up a little bit, the Rhein Fire, this game.
And Nick Marfala, if he gets banged up, it may be Junior Tegoi, who is his cousin, also from Hawaii, Samoans from Hawaii, who may come in to replace him.
Been a tough night for the Rhein Fire. And Nick Marfala, he knows it. A better night for this fella. It was tough last week. Down 45-6, they came back with 2 touchdowns, and they've maintained that momentum here in week 2. Johnson drops again, good times, got a man over the middle. Mike Salmon came in on the stop, but Mike Titley hung on to it.
And the options now, you see London's using everything. They go wide to Allen. They come up with a couple of runs. They come back in the middle with Titley, keeping the defense off balance. And Brad Johnson, a lot of confidence.
But Mike Titley on that occasion short of the first down. Brings up a 4th and 1. And it looks like the field goal unit is coming out once again. So Don Silvestri, who's kicked well, he's had 1 blocked, but he kicked 2 early that proved to be crucial. This will be a 39-yarder. It's on its way, and it's good.
And that was a great job by Silvestri because they had to hustle. The 35-second clock was running down. They actually got it off with only about 2 seconds left.
So it's 23-7 in favor of London, 4th quarter. We'll be back.
Now that you've given her away, you'll always cherish the memories. You'll always remember the joy, and you'll never forget the bill.
$220 for parsley?
But hey, isn't that why you got Visa Gold in the first place? With all the purchase power to handle any occasion, even the most precious. Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
And to this reporter, it's obvious that these strike negotiations are going nowhere fast.
Well, I've had just about enough. Let's go. Excuse me. Love the shoes.
What were we thinking? After you. No, after you.
Life is good.
When you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good.
Our work here is done.
Play ball.
Short.
Instead of a tip,
Lottery ticket?
he made her a promise.
If this ticket wins, I'll come back tomorrow and split the proceeds. What do you think?
I think I'm never going to see you again.
Now all he has to do
What did we win?
$4 million.
Oh my God!
is tell his wife.
I've got something to tell you.
Nicolas Cage, Bridget Fonda, Rosie Perez. It could happen to you.
Why don't you just give her all the money?
This month on DirecTV.
Welcome back. Don Silvestri's third field goal of the night has extended London's lead here in the fourth quarter to 23-7. And we're just about ready for the restart. Back deep for the Rhein Fire. Darren Pointer and Tyrone Johnson. Johnson, a real speedster, hasn't been much of a factor in this game. I think the conditions have not helped him at all. Silvestri gets us underway. It's going to go to Pointer if it goes out of bounds. And a flag comes down. So they'll have to kick that one again.
From 5 yards further back because he kicked it out of bounds.
We have a kickoff out of bounds.
Well, it's cold and chilly here in Dusseldorf. But as you can see, the Monarchs, they're working up a bit of a sweat. And it looks like they're going to douse the Fire tonight here in the fourth quarter. They lead it 23-7.
Elected to take the ball at the 40-yard line now. Penalty involved, so they get great field position for the start because the kickoff went out of bounds.
Gino Torretta continuing at quarterback for the Rhein Fire. The Fire really need a touchdown and a two-point conversion here to bring them within 8.
The importance of kicking. Don Silvestri's made a big difference for London today.
Jay Hillman and Sean Wright fair in the backfield, and it's Sean that gets the carry. Rick Newbill in on the stop. A pickup of around 3 for Sean. But this London defensive unit, there you see that holding hands once again, very together. So much more so than last week. And I think they may have surprised Galen Hall. You detected an air of confidence in the Rhein camp this week. That's all but evaporated now. Second down, Torretta puts it upstairs. He's looking for his intended receiver. There was Rob Moore. Now, no shouting and screaming in this league. It's all very high-tech. This is how the plays get sent in.
9, red slot, 7.
Offensive coordinator, usually the man who calls it in. It comes to a speaker on the inside of the helmet, stereo sound in your football helmet. The Rhein Fire, Galen Hall's using that headset that you see on him right there. He's using the headset to send in the plays. They don't use the walkie-talkie.
3rd and 7 would suggest that they've sent in a passing play. The Fire need to convert. Torretta out of the shotgun. Whistles, flags. The game clock is down to 0. Maybe a delay of game call here. We'll have to wait and see. There is Gino Torretta. You can tell he is listening to what his coach is telling him.
Prior to the snap, 66 offense, 5 yards, still 3rd down.
It doesn't look like Gino Torretta is too impressed.
It's a one-way conversation, but you saw Gino Torretta saying no, he didn't like the call. Now I think he's excited. Yep, he likes it now. Sort of like talking to yourself. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I can live with that, Coach.
You want what on your pizza?
If you're a delivery boy on one of those scooters, you'd like to have one of those helmets on, I think.
3rd and around 12 for the Rhein Fire from their own 38. Torretta out of the shotgun. big play this one. Bad snap, well handled by Toretta, pressure coming. But he steps up, he's got up, and he had their own Pointer. But the connection not made. Pointer looks at Toretta. Toretta looks disgusted. He did well to handle the snap. But another Rhein Fire offensive drive breaks down, and they're jeering.
He hangs on out of the shotgun. He's got enough time now, but he's got to step forward. He sees Pointer, but it's already behind him on the throw. Just got away from him on the throw. Nothing's working for Rhein.
Kenny McIntyre back deep, getting ready to handle the punt from Giulio Caravata. We haven't seen any fakes yet, and we're not going to see one here, I don't think. The kick off. Fair catch called for by McIntyre, and he handles it cleanly at the 25-yard line. Smart play from Caravata. So, fourth quarter, London in control here in Dusseldorf. They lead it 23-7. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back.
While NFL action is still months away, the NFL has launched a new season on the internet. NFL Sidelines is an online connection to your favorite teams and players. Connect on the net with NFL fans around the world and chat live with the biggest names in football.
This movie is rated R.
Plus special coverage of the 1995 NFL Draft. The NFL moves into cyberspace with NFL Sidelines. Tackle the internet.
One of my patients was killed last night.
The more innocent she seems,
I don't really know you. You have all the power.
the more suspicious he becomes.
You're trying to see me as a case instead of as a female.
The more passion they share, the more danger he risks.
I'm not who you think I am.
Bruce Willis, no! Color of Night.
Playing this month on DirecTV.
Around 7 minutes left here in Dusseldorf. The London Monarchs leading the Rhein Fire 23-7. Next week, London are at White Hart Lane for the first time. Should be an electric atmosphere for that one. They're at home to the Amsterdam Admirals next Sunday. Amsterdam currently leading Frankfurt 14-10. That one in the fourth quarter, so it'll be a tough one for the Monarchs. The day before, on Saturday, Barcelona host the Rhein Fire, and the Scottish Claymores travel to the Waldstadion to take on Frankfurt. Back here, it's 1st and 10 for the London Monarchs on their own 25. Jim Ballard back in at quarterback. Tony Brooks picks up around 4 yards. Leroy Smith on the stop.
And now it's handoff time for Jim Ballard. They want to establish the offense. Look at that drive. Look at Baldwin again, the center. Does a great job on Dunbar. Completely controlling him. Opens a hole there. Great job by Damon Baldwin. He's had a big game.
And credit offensive line coach Charlie Davis as well. He's done a lot of hard work with those guys in practice this week, and that's paying off. They're controlling the line of scrimmage. Ballard drops. He's got a man. He's got Ronnie West. Ronnie West breaks a tackle. Mike Salmon stayed with him, but Ronnie West picks up good yardage. First down, London. They are running the show.
And Ronnie West, he's a running back by trade. He moves to the inside on that break. He breaks the tackle, but he doesn't go out of bounds. He doesn't stop the clock. Good delivery by Jim Ballard, too. You see why he's got such a strong arm, why the scouts like him.
Made a slow start, Jim Ballard. But if you're with the Cincinnati Bengals, chances are you can play. And there we can see the helmet, and look.
Guess whose helmet that is?
I think that may be Brad Johnson's helmet, perhaps. We may see Ballard in for the rest of the game.
Speaker helmet.
23-7, Jim Ballard at the controls for the London Monarchs. And the handoff once again. 6 minutes left, fumble, and it's recovered by the Rhein Fire. We spoke too soon. Carl Dunbar, the big playman, has come up with it once again. We spoke too soon.
Carl Dunbar is one of those, he's been rising to the occasion all through the game. He does it this time, and now Rhein really need to come in with a score. London defense now put backs against the wall.
Well, the man from the Arizona Cardinals coming up trumps this time.
I see Baldwin's got him there. He's not involved in the tackle. The ball just squirts loose. Baldwin did a good job of controlling Dunbar again, but Victor Ebubudiki just didn't hold on to the ball.
London's first turnover of the night gives the Rhein Fire excellent field position, and Toretta's going to try and make it count. He's got Chambé right fair, who will be shy of first down yardage, but that little dump-off pass over the middle has worked for the Fire tonight. It worked again there.
Credit London's DBs again, too, because Toretta's looking for that first quick pass, and he's not getting it. It's forcing him to go to his secondary receivers.
And Gino Torretta and everybody else will know that if the Fire can put this one away, it changes the game considerably. 2nd down and 5. Torretta gets a lot of time, got an open man once again. Sean-Bay Wright Fair had a lot of time, but I think Jason Orton came up, or Kenny McIntyre, in fact, number 28, came up and broke it up.
And if Kenny McIntyre's there one step earlier, he's gone for 6 at the other end. Dangerous pass by Torretta. Again, good coverage. It was all man-to-man, and everybody was covered.
The Fire have to put this one away. 4 minutes left. 3rd down and around 4 to go, maybe 5. And Torretta is out of the shotgun. And it's a high snap, and it's a terrible snap. It's the last thing you need in this situation. Torretta can do no more than cover it up. A disaster for the Rhein Fire.
And last week, Bobby Hammond said it was mistakes that killed us. Galen Hall, after the game, is going to say the same thing tonight.
And that will probably do it. The high snap.
And you see the problem. Tony Rowell, the center, who of course was playing guard last week because Mike Alexander was in center. He's moving almost to go to his block before he completes the snap, and he does it with the one hand right over Torretta's head.
His thoughts are probably best left to himself at the moment. They're unrepeatable. Julio Caravata will kick to Kenny McIntyre, but flags go down. Caravata actually, ironically, gets off the best kick of the night. That one straight into the end zone.
Offense, 5 yards, still 4th down.
I'll bet you right now, if you take Galen Hall's hat off, you want a steam shot, you'll be seeing steam coming off of that head.
Smoke coming out of the ears as well. Julio Caravata will have to kick it again.
Maurice Spencer there on the right of your screen, defensive back coach. His guys are doing a good job in this 4th quarter.
Well, Mike, we talked about seeing the Monarchs in practice this week and how improved they were. All the players said last week's 45-22 defeat was a wake-up call. They're awake now. High snap. Caravata handles it, gets off a not particularly good kick this time. It's going to take another good bounce. As far as the Rhein Fire are concerned, it will be down at the 23-yard line. But there are flags, and they're in the Rhein backfield. And it's against the Fire, for whom very little has gone right after that opening quarter.
And I don't think another punt is what Julio Caravata really wants to do.
Well, we'll wait for the official call. How ironic that Caravata's first punt in this series was a beauty. The second one was not so good, and now perhaps his leg is tiring a little bit, and maybe this is the one that London pin back their ears and come after him. Let's hear the call.
Holding on the kicking team, number 39. 10 yards from the previous spot, still 4th down.
So it's like preseason workout for Gino Caravata. On the first punt, you might have thought they might have thought about faking it. Caravata was a quarterback at Simon Fraser University in British Columbia. But right now, he'll be happy just to get the ball away.
There's the story of the penalties. They've balanced out a little bit more. Caravata will hope it's 3rd time lucky. Kenny McIntyre is at his own 28, waiting to pick it up. Low snap, well handled. Caravata gets off. A decent kick. McIntyre will field it, and he's broken the first tackle. That's what he wants to do, and it could be all over. One player to beat. Heads up tackle from Julio Caravata, who didn't duck the issue, but Kenny McIntyre turns the screws even more, and this is London's game now.
And that was a dangerous one for Kenny McIntyre to field, but he did a tremendous job with it. Coming up with it. Now watch. It's bouncing, and it's not bouncing particularly well. Right there, he takes, that's a hard bounce to take, and if Russell gets him on the first tackle, he's in trouble. But it's such a surprise that he burst through. He doesn't even realize he's got that much room, and Caravata does a nice job of getting him out of bounds.
Just as Don Silvestri did on a kick return against the Fire earlier against Tyrone Douglas, so Julio Caravata does. Klaus Biedermann in for the Rhein Fire, but Tony Brooks is starting to enjoy this. He gets gang tackled, but will pick up close to 1st down yardage.
Junior Tagoy back in the game now, making that tackle, replacing Nick Mafala, and he's his cousin, as we said.
I'll tell you something, Mike. Tony Brooks will come out of this with a huge sense of satisfaction, and I think Coach Bobby Hammond will be delighted with what he's seen tonight from Tony Brooks, a guy who's got so much potential.
He's running the ball so well. They gave him that pitch to the outside. That's the confidence they have in him right now.
2nd and short, Monarchs. The handoff up the middle, not much doing there. Carl Dunbar wouldn't move, and that'll lose a couple of yards on the play.
Now they're keying on run here, the Rhein linemen. They know that London's going to run, so they're getting some of that aggression back. They're able to control the line of scrimmage a little bit better.
Well, Carl Dunbar, the leader of that defensive line, that looked very sharp against Scotland. They haven't done much here tonight.
And you know, with the 35-second clock, they run a lot of plays. The linemen don't go switching in and out. Carl Dunbar's got to be a tired guy right now.
3rd and short. No, we're not out of the shotgun. And the handoff to Victor X, who's going nowhere. Carl Dunbar once again. Don't talk about quitting, Ryan Fire, because Carl Dunbar is still heads up on every play. Now, he may have stopped the Monarchs picking up a first down there.
But remember, clock's rolling all this time, and that's the clock's in the Monarchs' favor. This is what they're trying to do. That's 16 seconds. They're talking about the game clock, which you can see down the end there, just behind the referee's hat.
It's 4th down. Don Silvestri is out once again, but he won't be able to take a kick. It's the 2-minute warning. With the Monarchs ahead, 23-7, looking for 3 more. We'll be back after this short break.
You can delegate it to your assistants and hope that they do it, but I've always paid a lot of attention to detail. I just feel that you can't let anything go unnoticed. You have to practice in order to expect your players to perform. So I try to put them in as many situations, game situations, as I can during the week in practice.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
The epic story of love and adventure. Wyatt Earp. He was a lawman. He was a hero. He fought with all his strength to protect the things he loved.
We'll make our own place where no one will find us.
Kevin Costner, Dennis Quaid, Gene Hackman, Wyatt Earp, playing on DirecTV.
The London Monarchs in charge here with 2 minutes to go, and ahead 23-7, and it looks as if they may be giving Don Silvestri a chance to kick another field goal, Mike.
No, they've taken him out now. There's no point in going for the extra 3. They'd rather simply run the time off the clock. If they don't make the first down, the ball's still, it's an 80-yard drive for Rhein to go the other way.
So they're going for it on 4th down. Carl Petrov in as a tackle eligible. And the handoff to Victor, who I think may be short of first down yardage, depending on where they spot it. Jason Atkinson and Carl Dunbar celebrate. They think they've stopped them, and they have.
And it's a 2-touchdown situation now, so you're going to have to see Ryan's going to have to strike quickly, and they have to strike long. London playing the percentages there. A lot of bad things have happened on field goals.
And credit the Rhein defense there. A lot of bad things have happened to that unit for much of this game, but they've held firm, and Carl Dunbar especially has shown great leadership. In fact, they're bringing the chains out, but this surely a formality.
Yeah, it's definitely short.
So it's not over. In fact, it's well short. I'm really surprised they brought the chains out on that one. It's about a yard short. Well, Gino Torretta, we've said it before, he's the big play quarterback. He needs a big play now. 78 yards would do it.
And you're talking 2 touchdowns here.
Gabriel Oladipo there. He's had a good solid game on the inside.
Look at that, 4 linemen up, 1 linebacker about 7 yards back. Everybody else is in an umbrella.
Pressure coming. He gets his man, he gets Pointer, who gets close to first down yardage before Dave Hoffman trips him up, but he can't get out of bounds. The clock continues to run.
Hurry up time now. Torretta simply calling the patterns.
Spread formation, 4 wide receivers. Just a single setback for Gino Torretta. A minute remaining. Torretta with time goes upstairs and overthrows his intended receiver, who was Derek Owens. Also overthrew one of the defensive backs trying to pick it off as well. That will stop the clock. I think Eric Stevens had coverage there.
I think he went for the interception. He missed it. If the pass had been a little bit lower, you could have had that big score they needed. You really want to play contain in this situation. Let them have the ball, let them complete the pass, try to keep them in bounds, try to keep them out of the end zone.
2nd down and 10. for Gino Torretta out of the shotgun again. Means he's going to put it up in the air. No surprises there. Goes over the middle. And tripped up is Ronald Williams. Dave Hoffman was there for him. That'll be short of first down yardage. Minute 23 or so left for Bobby Hammond before he can start celebrating for real. But he knows, and we know.
That's definitely a smile on his face there. The makings of one.
Less than a minute. Clock continuing to run. Third down for the Rhein Fire. Torretta stays in the shotgun. Again goes over the middle. They'll give them the short gains all night now. Darren Pointer fouled, or tackled by Carlton Lance. It will be a first down. Timeout called by Galen Hall.
And a good performance by the London Monarchs, because not only did they come out and play strong, but Rhein came out playing well, and they really deflated Rhein's whole attack. London wanted to establish a pass rush before the game. They did that. They wanted to establish the running game. They did that. They wanted to get Mike Titley involved and open up for their other receivers. They did that. They really did everything they set out to do. A good performance by a team coming back from a really tough loss last week.
Well, when these Monarchs were down 45-6 at the end of the third quarter last week, I think one or two obituary writers were sharpening the pencils, but no obituaries now. These Monarchs are for real. Tough to win on the road in this league.
Of course, Rhein did it last week. They spoiled the debut of the Scottish Claymores in Edinburgh. Well, London have come down and spoiled the debut of the Rhein Fire here in Dusseldorf.
Well, this will be a disappointment for Galen Hall. I know he and his team were looking to put on quite a show for the fans here in Dusseldorf. Hasn't really happened for him. The Monarchs had other ideas. Torretta dropping back. Got a lot of time again. They give up a fairly straightforward play. They're not too worried about that. Eric Stevens pushing Derek Owens out of bounds, but it's bend but don't break time for the London Monarchs defense.
Exactly. Play the percentages. Don't extend yourself. Don't take any foolish risks. You've got the game in the bag. Don't give it away.
Galen Hall said, last week we were lucky against Scotland. It could have gone the other way. This week it has gone the other way. And turnover's the story.
And they came out, it looked like they were going to establish their game. Short pass, run, long pass. They got the ball to Chambe right fair, which they wanted to do. But the turnovers killed them.
Ronald Williams stopped by Kevin Buck and Eric Stevens, but he moves the chains once again. As the Rhein Fire look to do what the London Monarchs did last week. Doesn't matter that you've lost, get some momentum at the end of the game, and Torretta stops the ball. They will look for a touchdown here to establish, to restore their confidence.
Well, one of the things we've heard from almost all the coaches in this World League is that the teams are pretty evenly balanced. No team is going to dominate this league, and we're seeing that already, and it's only the second week of the season.
The play clock continuing to move down to 7 seconds. I think a delay of game coming up here for the Rhein Fire, for whom number 80, Max von Garnier, is in the lineup.
Rhein Fire.
They call a timeout to stop the clock.
Team timeout.
Max von Garnier, you see him jumping around. He's ready for action. A former Hamburg Blue Devil, a native of Berlin. Good to see him getting a bit of playing time as well.
That's what they're there for. The experience is the thing they need. Here's a guy with a lot of experience too, Bobby Hammond.
That's quite a tale, Bobby Hammond. Nobody expected him to make it as an NFL player. He defied the odds for 5 seasons, and he's had a distinguished career as an NFL assistant coach with the Jets and the Cardinals, and most recently with the Philadelphia Eagles. This, the opportunity to show what he can do in the top job. And I have to say, on a personal note, I am impressed with the guy's philosophies and his attitudes.
He likes you too, Nick.
Little mutual admiration society.
Bobby said they came to him and they said, "Will you be interested in coaching in the World League?" He said, "Are you kidding?"
Second down for the Rhein Fire. Torretta again working out of the shotgun, pressure coming, and he is nailed. And that will do it. A.J. Jenkins came storming through.
It isn't the Super Bowl yet, but Bobby Hammond gets the dunking, his first win as a head coach.
Rhein Fire have taken a timeout, but that really surely sets the seal for the London Monarchs.
And they,
I was going to say, when you get in the bath, you know you're in trouble. I tell you who's not going to be getting a bath, and that's Galen Hall. Everybody's keeping well clear of him.
28 seasons, this would have been his 50th win as a head coach outdoors for Galen Hall, but not a pleasant afternoon for him. I was going to say, Bobby Hammond, the coaches are allowed to come on the field during the timeouts, but I don't think they're allowed to come on the field to avoid being dunked with Gatorade.
That's a 15-yard penalty if ever I heard it. So all smiles on the London sidelines.
And Damon Baldwin, you see Hammond went right to Damon Baldwin for some congratulations. He had a tremendous game, the Monarchs center.
Third down, 11 seconds left. Toretta out of the shotgun. Steps up to avoid the pressure, got all the time in the world. He's tossed it upstairs and it's out of bounds. He was looking for Derek Owens, and a Rhein player is injured, shaken up on that play. Another Rhein player, I think it's Tony Rowell, and he is in a lot of pain in the middle of the field, and this will be a disaster for the Fire if Rowell can't answer the call next week. He looks shaken up. He was waving to the sidelines immediately, and that would be a really bad blow to end the game on.
Losing another offensive lineman, they hardly have any more on their roster.
And this guy is their leader. Drafted by the Raiders in '92, he moves all over the offensive line, tackle, guard, center tonight.
Galen Hall, as we said, spotted him in high school, recruited him as a defensive lineman at the University of Florida. He then moved to guard, he then moved to center. He's back at center now, but he played guard last week when he had to.
There's 4 seconds left. Meanwhile, we're all concerned for Tony Rowell, because whenever a player starts waving to the sidelines immediately, that would suggest that there's something serious going on. And Galen Hall and the rest of us will be keeping our fingers crossed for Tony Rowell. But as you say, Mike, they have no depth at offensive line, the Fire. If Rowell's out, they're in trouble.
They have to hope Mike Alexander can come back and retake the center position. Gerald Olszewski, not too bad a performance at guard, but they didn't dominate the way they did against Scotland. That line really did drive for long periods of time against the Claymores.
And real concerns here. See 1 or 2 of the Monarchs personnel involved as well. And we can but hope that Tony Rowell will be okay. They have been banged up.
And you know, this raises the possibility if Alexander isn't ready. Munoz, the other lineman, is a tackle. They could bring Haberman in at guard. You could have 2 Germans playing guard for the Rhein Fire next week.
Well, Galen Hall was saying Ralph Haberman is not ready yet, because offensive line of all the positions is the most technical.
You see a little bit of that when we show you the blocking there. All those movements have to be really choreographed. The timing has to be perfect. It's the most technical of all the line positions.
I'll tell you, Mike, this doesn't look good. It's Mike Titley, another solid contribution, justifying his status as the best tight end in the league.
Mike Titley, early favorite for the all-hair team.
Down, 4 seconds left in the game.
There's confirmation from the officials, 4 seconds remaining. And Tony Rowell being helped from the field, and this you don't like to see. They lost tight end Tony Lensane earlier, they lost Mac Travis, they lost Nick Marfala. Let's hope he's okay.
Cold, wet weather, slippery ground, you get a lot of injuries.
This will be the last play of the game, 4th down. Toretta will put it up in the air, I'm sure. Toretta airs it, and he's got his man, he's got Ronald Williams, but Williams is being shepherded down to safety. Herman Smith, I think, the man who made it along with Dave Hoffman. So Bobby Hammond breaks his coaching duck. The London Monarchs win it 23-7 after falling behind 7-0. A solid all-round performance from the Monarchs. They're looking good.